Hello, everyone. I sincerely hope you are all doing fairly well today. That is not the opening I was searching for. Hold on. Hold on. Let's undo that. And, while we're at it, that, that, and that. There we go. uh, yeah, this does seem a bit at the moment right now, but don't worry. This is all perfectly normal, all perfectly normal. Which is why I am going to find the perfect image for us to use for this. Yeah, I think that's one's appropriate. And yeah, it will play a vital role into some of the stories that we'll be reading today. Which, speaking of,
It is time once again for some more creepypasta readings. Our first story. It wasn't Lavender Town. You know about Lavender Town. You know that the town's sorrowful music can tear out of the game, enter you through your ears, consume your head, and leave you screaming for the end to stop the pain, stop the wailing of the dead that never end. Screaming until you find a way to silence it. I'm going to tell you a story. If you wish to aid yourself in setting the stage, go ahead and open a new tab and bring up that music. Indulge yourself in its 8-bit horror. Just don't go away. Don't leave. Because I found the truly terrifying secret of the ghost town. Any innocent Pokemon fan playing through either red or blue, or depending if they live in Japan, even green, could have figured it out. But they didn't live to bring the haunted truth to justice. I know I might be next, but I have to do this for the good of you all, to save lives. As I said, any innocent Pokemon fan, whether they're young or veteran, setting out on their first journey, or even revisiting the franchise's roots, any one of them could have done it. We'll never know if they did, though, will we? Let's begin. Said innocent fan has just made it through the rock tunnel, their team beaten and battered, anxious for rest. They crawl to Lavender Town, and before they can shudder at the sounds that echo through the barren valley town, they drag themselves to the friendly, familiar Pokemon Center. And its own cheery music offers a sanction to the same, even if just temporarily. When they inevitably leave, they offer their ears and therefore lives to the spirits of Lavender. And there it stands, nestled away in plain sight. It grins, knowing that soon its hungry, growling voices will be fed by the tender souls of the pure. And its watchful eyes observe, and the starving, gray faces swoop almost too close, as the victim is unknowingly warned by a young child.
hand on your shoulder. I'm just imagining it.
But no, no, no! You mustn't leave. It beckons. The boy, blissfully ignorant, leaves the quiet town, and the ancient specters sink back into their solitude in depression. But they know, inevitably, irrevocably, that their prey shall return, and they smile, full of malicious, sadistic hunger. And soon, they can feel the return of the trainer's innocent presence. Yes. Yes. The boy moves closer. 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 Upon the maw of the secret. The wailing chorus of the town song rising in a crescendo as the unknowing Pokemon fan steps inside. And they begin their song, shrieking like the brutal death of a banshee, a lost soul waiting for its pitiful death. It gets louder and louder and never stops its song. It continues until the screeching worm sinks way inside of you and hooks painfully into your brain and begins leeching off your life. The high-pitched chorus gives a wicked grin. Their prey has no escape now. The clueless child, or even seasoned Pokemon fan, still doesn't know, doesn't understand. I'm starting to get weak. I'm halfway through this stupid place, and for some reason, I'm not getting attacked by any wild Pokemon. I swear, my character is walking progressively slower. The music is starting to get louder. It's beginning to give me a headache, but it makes me so twisted and vicious, and for some reason, I don't mind. A huge shiver racks my spine, and I shake from it. I'm starting to feel chilly. My shadow, it's getting longer. The ghosts, the haunted inhabitants of this horrible place begin their drain. If they're lucky, their victim will be gone before they even begin to understand. Sometimes they do understand. Sometimes it all clicks. But they're already too far gone, and their last anguished thoughts give the spirits a hearty meal. Never as one finally uncover the secret before they were truly doomed. My side hurts. It's getting hard to breathe. It looks like my character is moving at the normal pace again, and that I'm the one that's slowed down. I feel a cold draft and shudder again. I sense a dark grin staring at me. The music keeps playing, even as I battle these poor channelers. It's all I can hear. And now I knew something was truly wrong, but I felt a nagging in my brain that told me to ignore it. Since that was the easier solution, I continued on. The ghosts' wicked laughter make up the chorus. The singing of the dying banshee, the screams of the dead Pokemon, their wrath, their vengeance, their misery poured out into one awful serenade with one message: to join them in death. I reached the final door final floor of the Pokemon Tower, alone in my room and in the dark. It's sometime past midnight. My head is pulsing with pain, and I'm shaking from the cold. I wanted to take some pills for the headache, but that would mean leaving my tiny, safe sanctuary. I pulled my soft blanket closer and tighter around me, trying to get warm. And I'm quivering almost too bad to press the buttons on my Game Boy SP. It's still getting loud. Not break your eardrums loud, mind you, but loud in the sense that I heard. No, I felt the music coming from everywhere. There were low, deep whispers coming from it, and I went pale in fear. I make my way through the simple maze of the floor, but before I reach the staircase, it's too much. I'm so dizzy, and I didn't even notice it until now. I'm not just shaking from the cold. I'm shaking from the pain this place has put me in. I'm mired in pure depression of its song, the screaming, the wailing melody. It just won't stop, and I don't think I'll try and make it, because I'm too weak.
I am fear.
Why?
I am fear. I am
Why am I so weak?
nightmare.
The hungry, evil spirits laugh, cackle, and crow too loud, taunting, teasing, belittling me. They are the loyal servants of the tower, stealing, always stripping their victims of sanity to feed their entity, the souls of the Pokemon Tower. It was the Pokemon Tower, and I know. My game suddenly freezes. I can't move anywhere. Yet the tower's music continues on perfectly from everywhere around me. I curl into a ball, shaking and crying, pleading for the end, begging for the insanity to stop. The whispers grow to rumbling, and I can almost make out the words. I can't think right. Everything is getting too foggy and murky, and I screw my eyes shut, and there they are. There they are. They're killing me, and everything becomes a cold black. The sound rising until it is the only thing that I can comprehend. It wasn't Lavender Town. It wasn't Lavender Town. It wasn't Lavender Town.
In case you couldn't tell, that wasn't Lavender Town. But yeah, that was one terrible story. And now,
It's time we move on to the next terrifying tale. This one is called Abandoned Pokedoll. It was her favorite doll. She took it everywhere, clutching it tightly in her small hands. The doll did everything with her. It went to school, sleepovers, dinners, and even tagged along for baths. The two were practically inseparable. She even claimed the first day she became a trainer, she'd still carry it around to remember her childhood. The doll might have been a bit odd looking, but that didn't change anything. It's what she liked. Made the doll truly unique. But as the years went on, she found interest in other dolls. It didn't make sense. Chucking the old doll for new ones. Yet worn and dirty with age.
fear.
It lay in a dumpster, surrounded by trash bags and food wrappers. Not where it belonged. Not at all. Slowly, the arms twitched, fingers clawing into the trash bags. Its eyes were an angry red, and the zipper mouth turning into an angry scowl. Bannet rose from the dumpster, ready to find that little girl who threw it away. The neighborhood.
I am your worst
It hadn't changed a bit.
Do not look.
How long had it been anyway?
For I am there, and
Bannet
if you look, I shall
surely
be gone.
couldn't have been in there for
That
long.
was me. I was the Pokemon you just saw in the
It
corner
would
of
find
your eye.
that sweet little girl
Imagine
again
everything that
and cuddle
scares you.
right back
That is
up
me.
in her
1,000
arms.
times worse.
Trash.
I am your
What
worst
a
nightmare.
joke. How could someone throw it away? A favorite should not have been treated this way. You always kept your favorite. You never tossed it away. The grudge grew stronger as familiar houses of the block came into view. Her house wasn't far. Just a few more to pass by. At last,
I am
it came
fear.
into
I
view.
am fear. I am
The
fear.
window was
I am
opened,
fear. I am
letting a
fear.
warm summer breeze pass on through.
I am fear. I am
To Bannet's disgust, new dolls littered the floor of her room. Other Pokemon, all new and fresh. Not a stain on them, all set perfectly in a row. Its owner wasn't so litter anymore. It had been a few years. Bannet floated over to the calendar. Tomorrow was her 10th birthday. She'd be a trainer tomorrow. Bannet slashed its claws through the calendar. A trainer? No chance of that. The slashing continued, slitting all of the dolls' throats. Stuffing pulled out. The dolls landing on the floor silently. No, this wasn't enough. The girl would get new dolls, and these ones would end up in the dumpster as well. There was one simple solution to that, at least. She barely had a chance to scream. Just a whimpered gurgle as claws tore through flesh, leaving a clean, long cut down her neck. Now the girl would never, ever abandon her dolls. Ever again.
The end. So yeah, that was a really fucked up story about a possessed Pokedoll that really didn't like getting thrown in the trash. Oh, but that's okay. Now we're gonna get to a story that truly hits me at home.
For now, we will talk about a game I used to play as a child, and a weird and interesting moment that happened. This story is called Pokemon Gold Glitch. I'm an avid Pokemon fan, so when I finally got my hands on Pokemon Gold version, I was thrilled. I noticed, though, that since it was an old hand-me-down, that the battery inside had drained and save files couldn't have been created anymore. Actually, I lied. This isn't really a story about me, but rather a story about the game that I gave to one of my neighbors. I should probably emphasize, because when I got the game, it was freshly new. So, anyway, back to
Son of a bitch, son of a bitch, son of a bitch, gun.
Thank you very much for the
You thought I was gonna say
point.
son of a bitch, didn't you?
Yes, we all thought you would be saying son of a bitch instead. But back to the story about my neighbor. But I couldn't wait to try it. That started a new game anyway. The graphics were great compared to the blue version that I had. I was really happy and just filled with excitement. I picked up a cyndaquil that I nicknamed Thorn. Don't ask me why, though. And loved him to pieces. I named my rival Ben, just as I always do, and defeated him in our first battle with ease, accrediting it to my partner or to my battle skills. Everything was going great. I loved this game. I loved all of my Pokemon. But in the back of my mind, I still remembered that all of this would end soon, and the battery wouldn't last forever. I hated the idea of losing my team after all that we had been through together and accomplished. I had a female Flaffy named Cotton, a male Pidgeotto named Ace, a male Ghastly named Spooky, a female Centrant named Maddie. When the inevitable happened, and the little red light on my Game Boy Color began flickering, I took a deep breath in and looked my team over for the last time. I gave each of my Pokemon a goodbye.
One eternity later.
Yes, it felt like it took an eternity in order to get through that. Thank you for the points, by the way, Bo. But let me get back to the story that I'm trying to tell about my neighbor. I looked at my partner the longest. A strong, young Quilava finally, and started to tear up in the moment. I got attached to my Pokemon. It's only fair that I mention that.
Thorn. I'm sorry I did this. I should have waited to fix the cartridge before all of this happened. Forgive me, partner. Goodbye.
I shed a little tear, knowing all of the tough battles and happy moments had gone to waste, and turned off the game. That night, I went to bed as normal after the incident. Turning off my lamp, I hopped into my warm, soft bed and closed my eyes. Wait. Something was wrong. I tossed and turned, fidgeted, repositioned my pillows, and shut my eyes tight. Nothing. I couldn't sleep. But why? Something just wasn't right. The feeling of my normally relaxing room, it was gone. An odd air hung silently, almost pulling me. I sat up in the darkness and saw a very small, very faint, flickering red light in the corner of my eye. So I pushed back my blankets and, forgetting the lamp, began to shuffle across the floor. But I stopped. A squirming in my gut told me not to move another inch. Something was really wrong here. Chills ran down my spine like ice. And that was when I heard it. A distorted Pokemon's cry. Sounded like it was coming in through a poor quality TV channel. I rubbed my eyes and looked, panicking around my dark room. The red light was gone. I decided I'd been sleepwalking and found my bed again. Then I heard it again. This time, a lower pitch. upright, eyes wide open.
Who's there?
No answer. Until a shaking, barely audible voice, like rustling leaves. I gasped in fear, heart thudding against my chest. I could see nothing that is except that little red light yet again. I realized it was the reflection of my mirror and noticed the source. My bedside table. I put my Game Boy on it. Picking it up weakly, I looked at the dim, flickering light. The screen too flickered. That wasn't right. The Game Boy Color had no light to its screen, just pixels. But it lit briefly, a pale blue, and went blank once more. I stared numbly at it, while my heart continued to hammer. The voice returned, a little clearer than before, but still faint. It's okay. I forgive you, partner. It seemed to come from everywhere at once. The hairs on the nape of my neck stood on its end, and suddenly I saw a pale, cloudy pair of blue eyes directly in front of mine. They had no pupils, no shine. They were just dull. I screamed backwards against my headboard in fear. I forgive, and now can be together. It said, as an icy sensation swept over me. I could barely breathe. A pain flared somewhere inside my chest. And as those dead eyes stared into my soul, blackness crept into the edges of my vision. As the last of my consciousness drifted out of reach, that morbid, static voice rang in my ears. When I finally woke up, I was in my pajamas. My bed sheets twisted up around my sweaty, soaked body. I looked around my room in silent dread for those haunting eyes. But they were nowhere to be seen.
Hey, I know it's Saturday and all, but are you gonna wake up yet, bro?
Came my brother's voice from the hallway. I sighed, my shaking hands unfurling the blanket. It was all just a dream. Still, I couldn't help thinking about what happens to Pokemon after you erase the game file. I still felt sorry about it. I hopped on my bed and made for the hallway, smiling at my own fear. In the corner of my eye, I saw it. Like lava in the reflection of my full-length mirror. He smiled his cold, dead smile. And when I looked back, he was gone. I will be with you now. With you. Forever.
The end. Can you believe that happened to my neighbor? It's so weird. But yeah, I just came to a sudden realization. We've been talking about ghosts this whole time. It just wouldn't feel right unless I brought this story back up. So,
Let us move right along to our next story. This one is called Ghost Marowak. Once I managed to catch the Pokemon Tower Marowak, you know, the ghost one, usually it'll slug off any Pokemon thrown at it. Out of curiosity, I tossed a Master Ball to Marowak. If you're wondering, I had hacked an infinite amount of Master Balls at the beginning of the game. You know, the one that I used for my Pokemon Blue save for the sake of convenience. It was the equivalent of an airplane read in terms of Pokemon game playthroughs, so I didn't really care. I was expecting the game to break immediately upon capturing, since, you know, the Ghost Marowak probably works differently from your usual Marowak that's caught in the wild. Nothing happened, however, and the game went on, just as planned. It appeared in the last slot of my party, seeing as I had yet to add a 6 to my team. At the very least, I was expecting a sort of, you know, missing number type issue. But the game appeared to have treated it as a normal level 30 Marowak. It wasn't even a ghost type. Though, if you fought the Ghost Marowak in game, it never was ghost type to begin with. I had always wondered what would happen if you did manage to catch the Ghost Marowak. This all happened as Gold and Silver were being hyped for release. So I was only an innocent kid with an overused Game Genie. You know, since then, I found out that using a cheat device in order to catch Ghost Marowak will leave you with a real one. Although, the only thing I used a cheat device for was for the infinite Master Balls at the beginning, which makes this catch even more peculiar. I was satisfied with the Pokemon, of course. Nothing in particular happened, so I completed my business with the Pokemon Tower and went back out of Lavender Town. I expected, with all the hype, something to finally happen in Lavender Town. The music didn't seem different at all, and upon talking to everyone else, I concluded that all was well in Pokeland. What, you thought this was all taking place in the Kanto region? You're all morons if you thought that was the case. It was always known as Pokeland, nothing else. I healed my Pokemon at the Poke Center, like normal, and went along my merry way to Saffron City.
Watch your profanity.
Yes, be sure you watch profanity. Thank you for the points, Bo. But back to the story. I didn't notice it until later, but the guard at the gate didn't just let me through. He was gone. Anyway, Saffron City was free to roam regardless. In continuation of the game's plot, I made my way to the Silph Co, only to discover again that the place was empty of the usual Pokemon Gym? Empty. I visited routes just north, south, and west of Saffron. All empty. I didn't notice how devoid of trainers Route 8 was until now. I shut the game off in a foolhardy attempt, in order to return to my previous save before the Pokemon Tower. It sucked, because I was still in Celadon City. At least I had beaten Erica and gotten the Rainbow Badge, so all I had to do was link it back up to Lavender Town and do the Pokemon Tower all over again. Without catching the Marowak, of course. All was well. The NPCs were intact, and nothing showed telltale signs of being glitchy. I accidentally walked into the grass route of Route 7. In my haste, in order to quickly finish off the Pokemon Tower again. That was the usual Pidgey. Only this time, I sent out the ghost Marowak. What, the asterisk signs? No, seriously. Instead of saying, what the fuck, it's literally just 4 asterisk signs. Also, I just realized this sentence ends with a period. There's no question mark whatsoever. I think who came up with this story forgot to do some punctuation checks and stuff. Anyway, I best get back to the story. I checked my party. Apparently, every Pokemon had fainted, except the last Pokemon in my party, which just so happens to be the ghost Marowak. My items were gone as well. The meta choices were fairly standard. Fight, item, and run. I tried run, but it wouldn't let me escape. I had no other choice but to fight. Ghost Marowak had your standard moves, Growl, Bone Club, and Leer. Bone Club, being a ground-type move, could not hit this Pidgey. When rolling through the move choices, I found the cursor could select the seemingly empty move slot. I selected it. The game froze. The music fizzed out into that itchy static sound, as if I had just pulled out the game during gameplay. I tried the game save again, this time checking my party before leaving Celadon City. My other Pokemon were knocked out cold, with the only healthy Pokemon being the ghost Marowak. I checked its stats. Once again, the typical Marowak. The only weird thing about it was its lack of a trainer name. A thing I didn't notice before. It didn't say question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, or anything. It was literally blank. Naturally, I went to the Pokemon Center in order to heal my fallen comrades. It didn't work. For one thing, it acted as if I only had one Pokemon. The other thing was that my other Pokemon were gone. My PC boxes were empty, and my first Pokemon was the ghost Marowak. I didn't know if this was some cruel programmer prank, but it couldn't have been a hack, seeing as how my mother bought this game from the Toys R Us way back in '98. Was it the fault of using a game device? Maybe even the Game Genie? Seeing as Pokemon Blue was always my, quote, sandbox, end quote, game, Pokemon Yellow was my serious game. I trekked on into the wild blue yonder. Yes, that was a bad pun. I'm not even making a joke here, that's literally what it says. I trekked into the wild blue yonder, parentheses, yes, that was a bad pun, and parentheses. The story, I tell you. The story. I left the Poke Center. As far as I knew, all of Kanto was empty. Hell, the only thing constant Center wouldn't work, and I would just hit a wall where the door should open. Pokemon functioned like this too. Though I could get into every other building normally, I couldn't get back into Erica's gym since I needed to use the HM cut, which I no longer had, as my items went along with every Pokemon I had, with the exception of Ghost Marowak, of course. I should mention by now that I never did get a nickname prompt for the Ghost Marowak. It's not wholly important, but trust me, it was just Marowak. If all the NPCs were gone, I wondered about the Pokemon. Once again, I ventured into the grass on the Route 7. After a few eerie steps, a battle began. My opponent? A wild Cubone! I sent out the only thing that I could. Marowak. Run was disabled. Items was useless. I picked Bone Club. It was a one-hit knockout, seeing as Marowak was several levels higher than Cubone. I returned to the overworld and took a step to get the hell out of that grass, only to immediately encounter another Cubone. I defeated the Pokemon as they came, finally making it out of the grass. There was only about 6 or 7 tiles in, but having so many wild Pokemon encounters, one right after the other, was just uncanny. I continued towards the western Saffron Gate until I managed to get into another wild battle, away from the grass. Cubone again! Not surprising. This even happened inside the gatehouse. By the time I reached the eastern Saffron Gate that led to Route 8, Bone Club was down to 0 PP. With no items and no way to get into the Pokemon Centers. The next battle I would have was interesting, to say the least. Anyway, it was another Cubone! It was only then that I realized that each and every other Cubone that I had fought thus far had the same level as the last. I already made the obvious connection of Cubone to Mother Marowak, but this revelation stung. I sent out Marowak again, feebly using Leer, and hoping to just spam the moves until I could only struggle. Leer lowered Cubone's defense accordingly. Cubone, at last, had a chance to attack, but he couldn't. It was too scared to move. I checked Marowak's summary again. It was still a ground type. The battle would stall, with Marowak using either Leer or Growl on the Cubone being too scared to move. I was tempted to flick the power off and restart, but I let the battle drone on until Marowak could only use struggle, or at least what I had hoped it would have been struggled. I recalled the game-breaking move that I used earlier, and used it. Marowak used Bone Club, oddly enough. There was no reaction or effect on Cubone, but Marowak apparently fainted. I guess. Its HP and name disappeared, but its back sprite remained. There was a sudden sound, as if Cubone had fled, though nothing on the screen indicated anything was happening. Suddenly, Cubone's HP bar drained and it fainted. There were no message boxes saying either the Pokemon had fainted, but at last, the battle ended. The screen turned black. I expected to be brought back to the start menu, but no dice. In fact, the game was hanging at this black screen. I waited a few minutes to see if anything might happen. Eventually, the black slowly edged away, revealing the Pokemon Tower's first floor. Though, of course, the NPCs were gone. The in-game menu was disabled, and all I could do was walk. Eventually, I made it up the tower and walked to the place where you encountered the ghost Marowak. There was no music, making the place even more eerie than it should have been. There was an item where you would find Mr. Fuji as he was being held hostage by Team Rocket, though. I went to see what it was, of course. The usual item acquisition sound played, but there was no message saying exactly what it was. My menu wasn't able to get it. And even though the cursor rolled through every selection, the only thing that ended up working was a trainer card. I named myself Bender, by the way. As you can imagine, it was pretty torn up. The faces of gym leaders were ruined by random patches of numbers and letters. The usual border corrupted by various in-game tiles. The name wasn't Bender anymore, becoming a random line of letters and numbers. A couple letters of my new name.
Son of a gun.
And Pokemon menus.
You thought I was gonna say son of a bitch, didn't you?
Listen, I understand that you're trying to be nice, saying that you're redeeming these points for me to say son of a bitch rather than son of a gun pest you. But I am in the middle of telling my story, and you will let me finish! Now then, where was I? Ah, yes. The amount of money I had appeared to be a lot as the row of nines ran off the screen. It was a mess of unused and used data. I pressed it again, just hoping to get out of that thing. Seconds after I realized I was missing the typical trainer sprite. It appeared moments after I pressed A. No, it wasn't some disembodied red sprite with blood covered all over it. You know, in case that's what you were expecting it to be this whole time. Instead, it was Marowak sprite. Even though every pixel of the sprite was in its right place, it looked even sadder. I pressed A again, only to hear the desperate sound of its cry. The next day, I tried to see if the game saves could be salvaged, but the only thing I heard upon continuing the game was the mirroring cry against a dark, formidable background. It didn't play Pokemon Blue for a while. A few weeks after that, I lost the game somewhere in my room and haven't seen it in years. I've since played Fire Red, and though I know there's no way in hell that kind of crap can happen in Fire Red, I'm still uneasy battling that Marowak. Regardless of the newfangled everything that came with the remake, I can still hear the glitch 8-bit loop of Marowak in mourning.
The end. So, yeah, that was an interesting story, to say the least. But anyway, I think we've talked enough about Pokemon Fire Red.
So instead, let us talk about Pokemon Blue. I love Pokemon. It was the very first game I ever really got into when I was young. Maybe 16 or 17. And it stayed with me as I grew up. I always thought that I'd played Pokemon all my life, because I could never put it down. Just has that effect on you. You probably already knew that right away from what I was getting at, right? I guess I was a bit older than the average Pokemon fan when I got my hands on the first game, which I remember being a copy of Pokemon Blue. Like a million other kids that year, I received it as a Christmas gift. Across the country, countless Pokemon games were being unwrapped that very morning. They all came from the very same factory in Japan, crafted together by the same hands. They were all stuck in shiny, brand new Game Boy handhelds and turned on for the very first time. I remembered that I had the biggest smile on my face when I began my adventure, nestled beside the Christmas tree, decked out in full winter pajamas. I selected Bulbasaur as my starter, caught a Pidgey, and caught a Caterpie. I brought my strong three-man team through a couple of gyms without a hitch. I thought everything was going well. Brock and Misty were a piece of cake. Bulbasaur is easy mode. Rock and water types bowed to grass. Admittedly, Lieutenant Surge did give me some issues, but I eventually triumphed after a bit of, luck grinding and such. It was one after the other. Eventually, I came across the HM Cut and was given access to Route 9, and soon afterwards, Rock Tunnel. It took me a day to navigate my way through the darkness, but I did it. By then, the month of December was reaching its close. I shut myself up in my room for every few hours every day playing Pokemon, grinding Pidgeotto, Butterfree, and Ivysaur on the few levels each time. I didn't care. I was having a blast. A friend of mine even traded me a Sandslash for a Charmander, which brought my team up to a 4 strong. I didn't think the game could get any better. Then I stepped foot into Lavender Town. For a few seconds, I stared at my Game Boy screen as the color scheme turned gloomy. The music began playing, and I made a face. Lavender Town's melody was melancholy and sad, completely unlike all the other themes that I had heard so far. I immediately realized this place was something else, something the developers wanted to set apart from the rest. I didn't know any other reason they would have gone to the lengths they did to make Lavender Town seem so dark. The haunting music followed me into every building, even the Pokemon Center. No longer smiling, I waited impatiently for Nurse Joy to heal up my pals as depressing sounds wore on. I thought it would never end. Having hung around Lavender Town long enough, I made my way to the western exit. Everything was going according to plan. Until I realized I had majorly goofed and forgot to check out the town's main feature, the Pokemon Tower. Lying on my bed, I pulled the Game Boy close to my face and squinted. Pretty much everything was hard to see because the Game Boy obviously didn't have a backlight. So I turned on my room's lamp and glanced at the window. It was maybe 9 or 10 p.m. around then. Everyone in my house was going to head off to sleep soon. I decided to play on as I walked into the Pokemon Tower and talked to the depressing NPCs. I began to lose some of my focus. My eyelids were getting heavy, and I was mashing buttons subconsciously. I talked to the same girl over and over again without even realizing it. Her dialogue filled the bottom of my screen a few times. Growlithe, why did you die? Growlithe, why did you die? Growlithe, why did you die? It was weird how the characters always say the same thing over and over again. You'd think it was an error or something, but these poor NPCs are glitchy fragments of real people, doomed to say the same thing over and over until the end of time. Here at least, it only seemed fitting. I mean, they were only mourning after all. I progressed up the levels of the tower, beat my rival, and edged the floor with the mystical healing pad. I walked over it a few times, tentative to breach the edges. Let another unidentifiable ghost appear. I was getting tired of my Pokemon being immobilized with fear. While facing one of the Pokemon tombs, I selected Sandslash and scrolled down his options. The friend that had given him to me had already taught him strength. Curious, I opted to use the move and was intrigued to read the game's notes. You can now move heavy boulders around. I know a tombstone wasn't what the developers had in mind for the strength's purposes, but I had Sandslash push at it anyway. To my surprise, it moved, revealing a small black hole in its place. My character immediately dropped through it. I thought it would appear on the floor just below, but it didn't. Instead, my character was surrounded by a black screen with the Lavender Town music playing. I squeezed back up on my bed and brought the Game Boy right under my lamp, thinking I'd be able to pick out some features of the new level if the screen was better lit. There was nothing to be seen. I tried to move my character, but the game just emitted a dun-dun sound that it always does whenever you walk into something. The next thing I knew, the Lavender Town music stopped playing. It cut off right in the middle. I figured at this point the game probably froze, but when I tried to move my character's feet, still just lit, and I still got that dun-dun sound telling me that I couldn't walk anywhere. I swallowed. There was a lump in my throat. I was nervous. I hadn't saved my progress in a while, and I didn't want to lose everything that I had accomplished by flickering the power off. Plagued by indecision, I set my Game Boy down, reeled my legs over the side of my bed, and put a hand to my forehead. I was sweaty and clammy. My attention darted back to my Game Boy, and I saw that the sides of it, where my hands had been resting, were slick with sweat as well. Must have had a fever. I stumbled into the bathroom and turned on the lights, looking at my gaunt reflection in the mirror. I was pale as a sheet. My eyes seemed milky and glassy. My lips were pale, and my hair was unkempt. I stunk from devoting all of my time to Pokemon and not my hygiene. Just as I reached forward to turn the faucet on, something on the corner of the counter caught my eye. It was my Game Boy. I hadn't brought it along with me. Had I? I retracted my hand from the faucet and set it on the small electronic device instead, pulling it up and frowning at the screen. It was all black now, but still dead quiet. Maybe it was partially because I was in a daze from having a temperature, or I was just really tired. But I just couldn't drag my eyes off the screen. My eyelids peeled back, and I kept staring into the black abyss, wondering where my character had gone. The Game Boy's power was lit, so it hadn't shut itself off. The game was still running. After a minute or so, the chill from my bathroom was starting to get to me. The feeling of little icy fingers dragged upon my spine and fixed around the back of my neck. I breathed in deeply and looked back up into the mirror. My reflection was gone. Instead, I was seeing the reflection of an empty bathroom and the open doorway leading to the dark hallway by my room. I rubbed my eyes a few times, but my reflection didn't appear. It was obvious that I was having some sort of a nightmare. Smiling to myself and thinking it's stupid to get scared over what was clearly a fever-induced dream, I picked up my Game Boy and rolled it over my fingers a few times, ready to pinch myself to wake up. I looked up at the screen one last time and froze. I was now looking into a very pixelated, distorted version of my reflection. My eye sockets had gone black, and my empty mouth was gaping open, stretched down upon my face. My fingers were digging into my temples. Music started playing. It got louder and louder, even though I wasn't touching the volume dial. It wasn't Lavender Town's theme. No, it was much more eerier, less constructed. It didn't take me a minute to realize it was a song being played backwards. I dropped the Game Boy, which clattered against the bathroom tile. The back popped open, and the batteries flew out and rolled towards the doorway, throwing my hands into my sweaty, messy hair. I went weak at the knees and sunk back against the wall, pinching at myself, trying to wake myself up. The music was getting louder still, even with the Game Boy face down without batteries. My glazed eyes darted to the mirror. It was entirely black, as if it and the Game Boy had swapped visuals. My heart began beating really fast, and I could feel those icy fingers scraping down my back, forcing me to look over my shoulders. It was then that the lights in the bathroom went off, making everything pitch black. I screamed and jumped out of my skin, spinning around and feeling for the light switch, trying to turn it back on. I must have turned the wrong way, because I was no sooner facing the mirror, which had the faintest glow to it, like a weak electronic screen. I cried and beat my hand against it, waiting to feel the glass-like sheet to shatter against my fist. It didn't. Nothing broke. All I heard was around the darkness. But it was as if all the walls had closed in around me. The music was blaring in my ears, hot and unnerving, making my head want to burst. Tears streamed out of my eyes as I struggled. But there was nowhere to go.
The end. So, yeah. That was an interesting story about something that never happened. But yeah, if you wanted more details about the picture that you're looking at right now,
it's only fair we bring up this story. The story simply known as Gengar and Clefable. Gengar and Clefable have, through trade marketing and beta art, been proven to have been some of the earliest Pokemon ever made. Coincidentally, they're also some sort of the first Pokemon when you list the original 151 by index number. Well, with Gengar appearing very shortly after Clefable. Also, Clefairy was originally going to be the mascot of Pokemon instead of Pikachu. So it was going to be a pretty important Pokemon. Gengar is known as the Shadow Pokemon. But what exactly is it a shadow of? Take a good hard look at the picture of Clefable, then the one of Gengar. Their body shapes are almost exactly alike, with the only major difference being that Clefable has a curl for its hair and tail, while Gengar has spikes. However, the shadow of an upright spiral, like Clefable's tail, would only be a line or a spike. Now, look at their typings. One of normal type, and the other has ghost type. Due to their immunities, neither of them could hit the other with stab attacks, since they'd just be immune to each other. Think about it. Have you ever tried to hit your own shadow?
yeah, that's literally how the story ends. Very, very short. I will give this Creepypasta credit for one thing. It does make you think. Not necessarily about the theory of Gengar and Clefable, but more or less the question of, what the hell was I just reading? But then again, you can pretty much say that about pretty much anyone and everything. Well, I don't know about you folks, but I am starting to get a bit dry in the throat. I don't know if I can keep this up for much longer. That was story 6, so I think it's only fair that we end this story for one more tale. This time around,
our final tale of terror shall be known as Pokemon Black. I'm what you could call a collector of bootleg Pokemon games. Pokemon Diamond and Jade, Pokemon Black, etc., etc. It's amazing the frequency of which you can find them at pawn shops, Goodwill, flea markets, and such. But generally fun, even if they are unplayable, which, let's be real, they often usually are. The mistranslations and poor quality make them unintentionally humorous. I've been able to find most of the ones that I played online, but there's one that I haven't really seen any mention of. I bought it at a flea market about 5 years ago. Here's a picture of the cartridge, in case anyone recognizes it. Unfortunately, when I moved 2 years ago, I lost the game, so I can't provide you with any screen caps. Sorry. So for those of you who are wondering, if anyone has seen John Trod's video of the bootleg Pokemon games, when he's literally holding a black cartridge of Pokemon, the black version, that's pretty much what it was. So if you need context, just look at that one. The game started with a familiar Nidorino and Gengar intro of Red and Blue's version. However, the press start screen has been altered. Red wasn't there. Or rather, he was there, but the Pokemon did not cycle through. It also said, black version, under the Pokemon logo. Upon selecting New Game, the game started with Professor Oak's speech, and it quickly became evident that the game was pretty much essentially a Pokemon Red version. After selecting your starter, if you looked at your Pokemon, you had, in addition to Bulbasaur, Charmander, or Squirtle, another Pokemon. Ghost. The Pokemon was level 1. It had the sprite of the ghost that are encountered in Lavender Town before obtaining the Slipskull. It only had one attack. Curse. I know that there is a real move named Curse, but that attack didn't really exist in Generation 1, so it appeared it was hacked in. Defending Pokemon were unable to attack Ghost. It will only say that they were too scared to move. When the move Curse was used in battle, the screen would cut to black. The cry of the defending Pokemon would be heard, but it was distorted, played at a much lower pitch than normal. The battle screen would then reappear, and the defending Pokemon would be gone. If used in a battle against the trainer, when the Pokeballs representing their Pokemon would appear in the corner, they would have one fewer Pokeball. The implication was that the Pokemon died. What's even stranger is that after defeating a trainer and not seeing Red receive $200 for winning the battle, the battle commands would appear again. If you selected Run, the battle would end as it normally does. You can also select Curse. If you did, upon returning to the overworld, the trainer's sprite would be gone. After leaving and re-entering the area, the spot where the trainer had been would be replaced with a tombstone, like the ones at Lavender Town. The move Curse was not useful in all instances. It would fail against Ghost Pokemon. It would also fail if it was used against a trainer that you would have to face again, such as your rival or Giovanni. It was useful in your final battle against them, however. I figured this was the gimmick of the game, allowing you to use previously uncapturable ghosts. And because Curse made the game so easy, I essentially used it throughout the whole adventure. The game unchanged quite a bit after defeating the Elite Four. After viewing the Hall of Fame, which consisted of Ghost after couple of Pokemon I used for HMs. The screen cut to black. A box appeared with the words, "Many years later." It then cut to Lavender Town. An old man was standing, looking at the tombstones. You then realize that this man was your character. The man only moved at half of your normal walking speed. You no longer had any Pokemon with you, not even Ghost, who up to this point had been impossible to remove in your party through depositing in the PC. The overworld was entirely empty. There were no people at all. There were still the tombstones of the trainers that had been used with Cursed on, however. You could pretty much go anywhere in the overworld at this point, though your movement was limited by the fact that you had no Pokemon to use HMs. And regardless of where you went, the music of Lavender Town continued on an infinite loop. After wandering for a while, I found that if you go through the Diglett caves, one of the cuttable bushes that normally blocks the path on the other side is no longer there, allowing me a chance for you to return back to Pallet Town. Upon returning to your house and going to the exact tile where you started the game, the screen would cut to black. Then, a sprite of Caterpie appeared. It was replaced by a Weedle, and then a Pigeon. I soon realized, as the Pokemon progressed from Rattata to Blastoise, that these were all the Pokemon that I had used Cursed on. After the end of my rivals team, a youngster appeared, and then a bug catcher. These were the trainers that I had cursed. Throughout the sequence, the Lavender Town music was playing, but it was slowly decreasing in pitch. By the time your arrival appeared on screen, it was nothing more than a demonic rumble. Another cut to black. A few moments later, the battle screen suddenly appeared. Your trainer sprite was now that of an old man, the same one as the one who teaches you how to capture Pokemon back in Viridian City. Ghost appeared on the other side, along with the word, "Ghosts wants to battle." You couldn't use items, and you had no Pokemon. If you tried, you couldn't escape. The only option available was fight. Using fight would immediately cause you to struggle, which didn't affect Ghost, but it did chip off a bit of your own HP. When it was the Ghost's turn to attack, it would simply say, "Dot, dot, dot." Eventually, when your HP had reached a critical point, it was then that the Ghost would finally use Curse. The screen cut to black one final time. Regardless of the buttons you pressed, you were permanently stuck on this black screen. At this point, the only thing that you could do was turn the Game Boy off. Whenever you played again, new game was the only option. The game had erased your previous file. I played through this hacked game many times. And every time the game ended with a sequence. Several times I didn't use Ghost at all, though he wasn't possible to remove from the party not show any Pokemon or trainers, and to simply cut to the climactic battle with Ghost. I'm not sure what the motives were behind the creator of this hack. It wasn't widely distributed, so it was presumably not for monetary gain. It was very well done for a bootleg. It seems he was trying to convey a message, though it seems I am the sole receiver of this message. I'm not entirely sure what it was. Maybe the inevitability of death? The pointless venomous? Perhaps he was simply trying to morbidly inject death and darkness into a child's game. Regardless, this children's game made me think, and it has made me cry. Original author, unknown.
The fucking end. Jesus Christ. Okay. I think it's only safe to say after that, I am definitely going to need a break. If not for your sake, for my throat's sake, I need a break. So, with that said, I think it's only fair we take a small intermission break. I'm going to try and get some throat lozenges, maybe go to the bathroom for a bit. And if anyone wants to stretch their legs, grab a quick snack, ponder the whole, what the hell were you thinking, Eizen, never do this shit again, this is the absolute best time to do so. And when we come back, we will get to the real point of the stream, which is some Orion Trail. So, see you in a bit, folks. Okie dokie then, folks. I think that's a long enough break. I have plenty of Hall's defense, just in case things start to go awry. So we should be good.
Eizen, can I ask you a question?
Does it involve what, the, and, or fuck in the sentence?
Yes.
Then please go on ahead.
What the fuck?
Well, it's only fair. If anything, this is technically Bo's fault. He said he made so many donations, he deserves Creepypasta reading. So, in a way, it's kind of his fault, too. You know, not saying, I am just saying at that point.
They played us like a damn fiddle!
But yes, I think it's only fair we actually go ahead and share that screen. So hopefully you should see on the side stream the start of Orion Trail. For those of you who don't know, imagine Oregon Trail, but in space. Now, of course, I was able to beat all of these missions offline, so yeah, that's why I'm not really feeling committed to doing a full playthrough of this. I already have bad enough memories doing this last scenario. But yeah, let's get started with the Wilkie May, a sister galaxy to our own. A Wilkie May is nearly identical. Efforts to explore this sector have been put off because it's really annoying to refer to it by name. So yeah, since you are here with us, Pastille, why don't you choose who your character will be?
I'll pass on this run.
Well, too bad. You're already here. You gotta choose.
No.
Don't care. You're choosing.
God damn it!
You gotta choose.
All these characters suck. Is there a way to reroll?
No.
Well, shit.
Which one you gonna be? Pastille, no offense, but it's a simple any-miny-mo process. Just choose a fucking one so we can move this along at some point.
Can I take a veto on this one?
No!
God damn it! Give me the purple guy, I suppose.
Alright then. This is Captain Pastille going on board. Let's see, yeah. Snap, you're definitely going to be dragged into this. Who should be Snap?
Who would you like to be?
Well, let's focus on Snap. Who do you think you would much rather be, Snap?
Yeah, I was asking Snap.
Ah, my bad.
Yeah, the reason I wanted to put this off for now is because I'm actually making dinner in the background, and I don't want to get too distracted. He wants Ted.
Alright then. Yeah.
And because he has put you up for this incredibly dumb Creepypasta thing, I'm dragging Bo into this whether he likes it or not.
Yep, that's only fair. That's only fair. And which character do you think best describes Bo?
If you're in the chat, please say something.
I do see him in there, so yeah, he better say a damn thing. Otherwise, I'm gonna say it's your executive decision. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Executive decision time. Who is he going to be?
Kyle.
Last person. Who are we dragging in?
Is there anyone in the chat right now?
Let's see. We have Shadow Derpy. We have Pan. Either one of those.
Okay, I'll bring Shadow Derpy then.
Alright. And Shadow Derpy probably on emotes only, so... Who do you think Shadow Derpy should be?
He should be Lieutenant Taylor. No, I'm not going for defense because I actually am trying to get myself killed.
Well, this is a short scenario. You might actually be lucky with this one.
No, I want to die.
Of course, Shadow Derpy is here.
You're drafted.
Alright, you got 8 credits to spend. What should we spend it on?
1 on each. Actually, just 2 on each.
And away we go. We have an option of a Class B star where anything is possible, or an asteroid belt where we have a chance to get more hull.
The top. Class B star.
We successfully made it to our destination. Peace, love, and understanding. You're hailed by a plump, cross-legged alien in a scruffy bathrobe, lube socks, and sandals. Namaste. I'm the budding Dali, guru of goodwill. Evil abounds in the galaxy. So I'm bathing all passing ships in a ray of pure joy and love. So we taste the rainbow, thank the guru for his gift, or deflect the waves.
Deflect the waves!
You don't know what is this space hippie is playing at, but by God, you're gonna defend your ship from it. You engage the deflector seals as a ray of rainbow light undulates towards your ship.
Yes!
Bad luck. The rainbow light can't penetrate the ship. The guru's sad, and actually, so are a bunch of your crew who have been searching for deeper meaning. A bunch of them take a shuttle out, far out, to commune with the guru. So now our next destination is a Class M star where anything can happen, or a Class X dwarf star where, again, anything can happen.
Class X dwarf star. Alright, there's only one choice in this one.
See, doggone. A dog in the medical bay tests a new intelligence serum on his dog. The dog now walks on 2 legs, talks, and has become the most intelligent being on the ship. Some people even think the dog would make a better captain. Ruh-roh.
Put him down.
So yeah, the options were commission a dog as a science officer or see where the discovery goes, but you're saying put the dog down. Threatened with losing your captaincy to a smarter individual, you order your crew to intervene and neutralize the canine threat.
Come on, fail. Yes!
Wow, I can't believe you're actually pulling this off with the failures. Several crew members are upset by such a heartless order and refuse to obey, ending up in the brig with their new puppy friend, who, after reading philosophy, prefers to be called Horatio. So now you have an option to go to the Class X Dwarf Star to get more crew, or just skip right along to the Class B Star where anything could happen.
Could use more crew, so Class X.
Galaxy Force Court Martial. Uh-oh. High Commander notifies you that you are to be court-martialed by holocall right now. An image of the Admiral's stern face reads the crimes listed against you, which involve mostly property damage and negligence. How do you plead? Guilty, feign a rare illness, or provide a cunning defense?
Guilty. Doesn't really matter anyway, I still suck.
You make an impassioned plea for leniency. What can you say? You made mistakes, sure, but what about your triumphs? The nap you took during the firefight with those slavers left you well rested for the resulting hostage negotiation. Fail.
Yes!
Oh boy. High Command has not heard about the incident with the slavers. They want to bring you in for questioning. Command shuts down your refrigeration tanks remotely, spoiling your Nutra-Paste. Thank the stars for Nutra Powder. Awesome food for that. But you have nice amounts, so can't complain about that. And only one place to go, which is the Class B star. Crisis! Skeet shoot. Sensors have detected a large clay disk on an intercept course with your ship. Any adjustments you try to make to avoid the astronomically oddity are matched. You're gonna need to shoot it. Should you fire phaser or torpedoes?
Fire the torpedo!
Whatever this weird disc is, you don't want it anywhere near your ship. Torpedoes give you the best range, so it's probably the safest choice. Torpedo Bay 1, fire!
Yes!
Critical fail! The torpedo closes in on the disc, but instead of colliding, it begins to orbit the disc. Soon, both the disc and your torpedo slam into your cafeteria. The loss of life and lunch is catastrophic. You lose a whole bunch of food, some crewmate, and I believe that is... Synap takes 1 hit point of damage. And only one place to go, the Class X star. The Globulus Rex. Shortly after deploying a routine foraging expedition to a nearby jungle world, you receive an emergency request. A sweaty corporal explains that the team is being chased by a Globulus Rex, the most feared alpha predator in the sector. You either have an idea, use a teleporter to extract the team, or use a pheromone screen to cover their retreat.
Use the pheromone to cover the retreat.
Your science officer suggests that the team has access to the chemicals that could confuse the Globulus Rex if combined with the right proportions. It is an astounding success. A billowing magenta cloud engulfs the team, and after a moment, they report that the giant beast is now happily purring and rubbing itself on a tree. It's adorable. But order that no one from the team pets or names the immense predator. You gain some food from it. And there's only one place to go. Class M planet, where a planet has been detected. See, there's a cluster of smokestacks up ahead. This is the famous Nutra-Paste Planet Factory. Nana Nutra ran it for eons before shuttering it to outsiders, locking the workers and secrets away forever. Only the welcome sign is on? So, your options are, why not check it out with a 6 red shirt team by your side, or must be a mistake and just ignore it.
Ain't nobody got time for this. Must be a mistake.
Nana's Nutra-Paste factory is legendary. What are the odds that she would reopen the factory right when you were flying on by? Nah, it must be a trap of some sort. Nobody's that lucky. With a heavy heart, you order your crew to fly on by. And only one place to go, which is the Class B dwarf planet. Laser Beam Space Raider. You land on a ship at a sleepy fuel depot for a routine fill-up when suddenly, all hell breaks loose. Attention, lowlifes! This depot has the privilege of being raided by the dazzling and dangerous Dazer Beams! Oh crap, what do we do? My god, she's beautiful. Open fire on this violent vixen, or, barricade her with yummy treats.
Open fire!
Nobody raids a fuel depot you randomly decide to stop at. You rain hot plasma down on Dazer Beam's unsuspecting ship. It's a success. Direct hit! She hails you angrily. Blast you! These weapons won't foil my next raid. Fire! She disables your main cannon and retreats from the scene. You smile triumphantly, fill up your ships, and continue on. So now we have options of the Class X Dwarf Star with more fuel, the Class B Star where anything can happen, or Red Nebula where, again, anything can happen.
Red Nebula.
Oh! Typhoid Classic. To everyone's surprise, one of your officers managed to contact Typhoid. Like, regular Typhoid, not the space version. It's really gross and upsetting, and everyone is just baffled as to where it came from. Bo suffers 1 HP of damage. Crisis! Naked Ambition! You are asked to border some very important peace talks on Regulon 9. Their ambassador briefs you on the protocols. He explains that Regulon 9 is a naturalist planet. The talks can't happen unless everyone there is in the nude. Your options are either no way or best to follow their customs.
Best to follow their customs.
You have a serious discussion with your delegation, in which you all agree to act like professionals. Nudity is the custom on Regulation 9, and you're going to respect it. You are all promised to maintain eye contact. Even with a reroll, it's still a fail. You ask too much of your delegation. They are soon imprisoned for contempt of court, which, in this case, means someone laughed at the absurdity of the whole situation. You lost 2 crewmates, and you did have 1 diplomacy, so you lost 1 of those. Only 1 place to go, which is the Class P Star, and something happens. Robotic Hall Minotaur. Monitor. You clearly asked the techs to build you a robotic hall monitor. Run for your lives! You lost 2 crew, and Shadow Derpy took 1 HP of damage. And now starvation comes into play, and there's no crew left to starve. So, yeah, Shadow Derpy's almost dead, but first, Planet of the Primates. You discover a planet populated by humanoid creatures with freakish ape heads. Since they appear to be intelligent creatures, you open negotiations to barter with them. They send a delegation to your ship. Your 2 and only 2 choices are pretend you're in distress or ransom their leader.
Ransom their leader. I'd shot the monkeys, but I don't have any more crew.
Let's see. Use some fresh drugged. Using some fresh drugged bananas, you bait their leader so you can kidnap him and ransom the apes for fuel for what you need for your ship.
Come on, epic fail.
I was gonna laugh my ass off if it was a critical success, not gonna lie. The leader, a very generous ape, shares his bananas with the rest of the tribe. All the apes fall asleep. You make off with the fuel and beam the sleeping apes back to your ship. You basically just gain 100 fuel since there's no food for you to lose anyway. But yeah, this is going to be bad because I'm predicting at least 2 of your crewmates will die. Yep, Shadow Derpy died. Joined the Starvation Nation. And Bo died, who also joined the Starvation Nation. Oculoid Checkpoint. The Oculoids, a race of squid eyeball creatures, have no beef with Galaxy Force, so you are welcome to stay there for a while. Your assigned Oculoid escort leans in close and whispers that he's willing to do some tradings off the books. So, do you want to check out the contraband or just leave?
Contraband.
You arrive at a poorly lit room, and several off-duty oculoids are all sitting around, staring at you with more eyes than you can count. Your escort vouches for you and begins talk. You can trade with resources, find something more exotic, or nothing right now and go back.
Let's trade. Take away 2 hull. And 1 for crew, 1 for food.
There's a problem. Food costs double credits, so it's going to take 2 credits to get 1 food.
Alright. Okay, 3 hulls.
And I'm assuming 1 of each for food and crew.
Yep.
Anything else, or just leave?
Got anything more exotic?
The oculoids look at one another with all of their eyes, until one speaks up. We've got some intel we could probably part with. I've also got some stuff that isn't entirely safe or legal.
Oh, dazzle me with danger.
One of the oculoids steps further. I've got this illegal phaser modification that's guaranteed to pack a punch. I also have an incredibly impractically pair of jagged metal dice.
Phaser mods.
The oculoid jiggles his eyeball stalks and wants to know what you'll trade in for the phaser modification. If you want it, you have to part with 100 food since you don't have enough crew to trade for
100
that.
fuel, not food.
I thought I said fuel, but whatever. 100
You said
fuel.
food.
Then I meant to say fuel! I am sorry for that, but anyway, you want to trade it in?
Yeah, nothing I can do.
After more hushed conversations, a convoluted series of contracts, suppliers, and negotiators, the trade is complete. You gained 1 attack, but lost 100 fuel.
Alright, we're done here.
And only one place to go to, which is the Orange Nebula. HR reports that all your unpaid internships have expired. Interns made up most of the crew, and without them, the ship will go dark.
The 2 crew.
Yes. Worse, no one will bring in your morning coffee. They are about to leave by shuttle. How do you respond? Do the job yourself?
Automate the jobs.
Automate their jobs. Alright then. Whatever. Humanoid workers are so last millennium. Robots don't demand food, or ask to get paid. You order HR to replace the lost workforce with state-of-the-art machinery. Fail.
Yes!
It turns out that even maintenance robots, require maintenance. You try to have the bots maintain each other in a circle, but it really doesn't work. In the end, you have a lot of wasted fuel and a lot of useless robots. And then 1 of 2 options to go to: Class K for more crew, or Class X star.
Class X. Not like it's gonna matter anyway.
Well, we just lost an ep, ran out of trail mix, and all that's left is you and you. Crisis, the call of duty. The Admiral hails you, but it's an unusual call. He's not at his desk. There's a weird echo, and you hear strange noises. Then you hear a toilet flush. The Admiral is hailing you from his bathroom. This is going to be awkward. Either call him out politely, ask him not to stand up, or hang up, laugh it off, and forget about it.
Hang up, laugh it off, and forget it.
You decide the best course is to feign a comm malfunction, and you cut the feed. You chuckle to the bridge about the Admiral hailing you from the bathroom. Despite all odds, you still got a success.
God damn it!
Oh yeah, laughs the navigational chief. He just does that sometimes. Gross, right? Everyone just chuckles and moves on. You gained 1 diplomacy! And I don't think it really matters where your next destination is, since you don't have enough food, you're pretty much dead.
Yeah, just go wherever. I'm I'll do a more serious run after I have... Oh.
You can't even make it one step closer before calling an SOS and dying of starvation. Pastille became extremely peckish.
I'll do a more serious run once I have dinner.
Right. Vision mailed. Unless, alas, Pastille, your journey has come to an end. The Wilkie May is a dangerous place, so do not be discouraged. You have been posthumously awarded the title Incredibly Dead. So 12 space encounters, 1 critical fail, 5 failed attempts, 4 successful attempts. Didn't go on an expedition of sorts, so no crewmates have been killed off, but no critical successes either. And this is quite the stark contrast. You ordered 4 attack commands, no defensive commands, 3 diplomatic commands, 2 scientific commands, and 1 bravadic command. So yeah, that's something.
Yeah, I just wanted to end this run quickly so I can have food.
Alright. Go enjoy your food, and we'll see you when you get back. So I guess in this case, this means I have to run everything. Alright, in that case, I'll play as Neil, obviously, since I'm the one making the decisions. I'll be in charge. And who else should I drag into this mission? Let's see. Well, you know what? Pastille never really did get a chance to go on any expeditions, so I think it's only fair. He seems like a very bravadic type of person, so I'll bring in Gales, and guess what? Now Pastille is him.
Like I wanted to be in the first place? Like I didn't want to do a run, but I didn't have any problems being a crew member.
Yeah. I think for this one, good news, Bo. You have been reconstructed as Denalog. Perhaps now you can finally get your hot chocolate. Now let's see. I think the next person who fits the line more appropriately... Jack kind of looks like a Jeff to me, so we'll drag him into this as well. So let's see. Don't really care about the hull or crewmates, so usually how I was able to get through the final mission was concentrate mainly on fuel and food. And then the rest should play itself out from there, so Class B with anything, or Class B for added hull. But let's see what the next options have for us. Even more hull, whatever, and fuel. Let's try and get some more hull into our ship. Worst case scenario, something to trade in once we get to a trade point. A lavish lookover. Drat, you've entered a fancy space. Hopefully, you can pass through without anyone... And what have we here? A Galaxy Force cruiser? How droll. Prepare to be boarded by the great Roculot for your extravagance evaluation. So let's see. Make the ship seem truly fancy. Flatter him to distract him. The ship's a mess. Let's ambush him. You kick some trash out of the way and flank the teleporter pad with enforcers. You'll nab your frilly foe the second he arrives. Whose idea was fancy space anyway? What a loaf. And it was a success. At the sight of your enforcers, Roculot cries out, "They don't call me the Clone Ranger for nothing!" He quick draws a can of body spray and blinds off your squad. You still capture him and quote-unquote, borrow from his fancy ship. We lost 2 crew, but we gained 3 hulls, so I'd say it's a win. Let's see, an asteroid belt or more fuel. Again, we could get more hull that easily, so let's go up this way. See, a shady dealer. Your communications officer says that you are being hailed by an unknown vessel. Fleeting in deep space, a shady figure appears on the holoscreen, offering repairs in exchange for some fuel. Let's see, offer fuel in exchange for repairs. Stick 'em up, or say you have no fuel. Let's be broadish about this and say we have no fuel. You confess with, possibly feign, sincerity that you wish you could help him, but you have no fuel to spare. Always when I see that look, especially with the covered mouth, I think he's supposed to be the arms dealer from Resident Evil 4. And holy shit, a critical success. See, I knew what I was doing.
You're a captain, Eizen!
You invite the shady figure aboard your ship to drown your shared woes in booze. After a night in bravado and heavy drinking, you invite him to join the crew. He accepts, bringing his remaining supplies with him, so 4 crew, 3 hull, and 30 food. Ah, damn. We're making it out really well thus far. Let's check out the Green Nebula next. Let's see. Arbitrary arbitration. You are hailed by nearby planet Precurium, which customarily flags down travelers to have them weigh in on legal matters. You agree and find out that your task is to settle a dispute over a property line between 2 of the planet's inhabitants. We can determine the validity of the dispute, which seems boring. Blast their silly proceedings or wing it. Nah, I'd say the best way to get an argument across is by blasting everything, so let's do that. What a naive culture. The only way to deal with a boundary conflict is to invade and conquer. You decide to teach them this valuable lesson by dismantling their poor excuse for a quote-unquote judicial system and order your crew to ready the ship's phasers. Of course. Let's see. A few of your more pacifist crew warn the Precurians of your impeding territorial aggression, and they banish you from the planet Precurium. Some crew deserts, deciding they'd rather live with this arbitrary justice than your wanton hostility. So we lost 8 crew, and joke's on you! I don't have any diplomacy to lose, so I just lost 8 crew. Nothing else. Alright, so let's see. A pink nebula or Class G star or anything. Either way, anything could happen. Let's go towards the one that kind of looks like a sun. Crisis. A tense situation. You get a frantic call from security. The Grobulan separatists has snuck aboard and taken the spa staff hostage. No! You had an appointment this afternoon! The alien demands to speak to you, and only you. No guns, no tricks, just talking. Let's see. Listen to his demands or negotiate the hostage's freedom. Well, the good news is we have plenty of food, so I'd say let's not risk losing a crew. Let's listen to his demands. He rattles off his demands. Food, fuel, a shuttlecraft, and a written document stating that the Galaxy Force will commit forces for the Grobulan Rebellion. Whoa. Okay, that escalated quickly. Time to start the negotiations. It's a failure. You manage to convince the Grobulan that you can't get the authority to start a war, but still end up giving him what he needs to leave. Yeesh. At least the hostages are safe. So yeah, we only lost food and fuel, so I can live with that. We're already starting to get low on red shirts anyway, so we need to keep as many of them as possible. Let's see. Next up, the alien intruder. Let's see. Internal sensors detect an alien presence and suddenly appear aboard your ship. The alien has given no indication of its intentions. We can limit its movements about the ship, bait the alien intruder into the open, or capture the intruder. You dispatch a security team to hunt down the intruder. God damn it, it's always a failure. The security team blasts the alien, which was holding a bushel of fuel cells. The resulting explosion creates a hole in the ship that sucks the alien and a security team into space. So, lost 2 hull, lost 2 crew. Still have plenty of crew, though, so let's go visit this Class M planet. Along the way, you hear a knock on the door to your quarter with a heartfelt apology, and one of your officers cracks the door open. Hey, I just wanted to apologize for earlier. It won't happen again. You're not entirely sure what this transgression was, but, all is forgiven.
It's probably me apologizing for my shitty run.
Well, look at the bright side, Pastille. You just gained 1 diplomacy.
I got food, by the way, so, yeah.
So let's see, the Fantastic Factory. There's a cluster of smoke stacks up ahead. This is the famous Nutra-Paste factory planet. Nana Nutra ran it for eons before shuttering it to outsiders, locking its workers and secrets away forever, only with a welcome sign in it? Yeah, let's go check it out. So let's see. Well, the thing is, I could send in either Bo or Jeff in. You have very high bravado and just gained diplomacy, so guess what, Pastille? You're going in on this mission.
Fuck!
See, Pastille and the away team successfully beamed to the factory planet's surface. This is definitely the legendary Nutra-Paste factory. The gate to its factory is so lavishly decorated. What should the away team do? Ring the doorbell or check around first? Not sure about anything. Why don't you check around a bit
Oh,
first?
hi, Opie.
Hello? It's too early to enter the factory of your childhood hero. The team should look around for a bit. You know, to give you time to work up your nerve. Pastille nods and orders the away team to follow them down to the back streets.
Back streets back.
Let's see. This isn't known as a factory planet for no reason. Outside of the Nutra-Paste factory, there is only a single blue, shining lake. Since the rest of the planet is covered in smokestacks, it's amazing the lake has remained unpolluted. So let's see. Secure
Like one of the
perimeter, blow it up, or boo,
nature's boring.
Not really going to get a benefit for this, so for once I'll say boo, nature's boring.
Aww.
In this universe filled with so many wonders, is it really worth spending any time by the lake? You order Pastille to get their butt back to the actually interesting stuff of the factory. Let's see. Your away team returns to the lake, feeling slightly refreshed. That Nana Nutra factory still sure is imposing, though. Okay, now ring open the doorbell. Taking a deep breath, Pastille reaches out and lightly taps a doorbell. A loud gong rings, followed by a minute of silence that seems to stretch on and on. A catchy jingle starts playing, and the gates swing open. A tall Fabulon woman steps through the gate. Dressed in a colorful top hat and tailored suit, she is fabulous even by Fabulon standards. This is Nana Nutra. A starstruck Pastille nervously calls you out, asking what to do. Geek out, act tough, don't be intimidated, or, since you did gain 1 diplomacy, commence polite introductions. You tell everyone to be as polite as possible. This is an innovator of great renown, and you don't want to make a bad first impression. Recalling finishing school, Pastille curtsies deeply and introduces themselves.
Let's see. Oh, of course.
It's a fail. Fabulons are too hip for such archaic practices. Nanonutra tells everyone to chill out. Two cold-blooded crew members chill out too hard, however, lowering their internal body temperatures to fatally low levels. With all that resolved, Nanonutra bows. I was intending to have a galaxy-wide contest to find a worthy group, but whatever, you folks will do. Welcome to the grand reopening of Nanonutra's NutraPaste factory. Want a tour? Oh, goody, go for it. You can hardly believe that this is happening. The away team is going to be the first to explore Nanonutra's factory in decades. You order Pastille to follow Nana into the factory. Let's see, the factory opens up to a NutraPaste river with a waterfall. This Nutrafall churns the paste to the perfect consistency, Nana says. Then she hesitates. Well, really, the Jorga Blorgus over there churn it better, but it still looks pretty cool. Let's see, inquire into the chemical process, investigate Jorga Blorga, right? Nah, the strength of the river. All that fresh NutraPaste flowing right past your away team. Surely it wouldn't contaminate the supply that much to stick your whole face in. You order Pastille to do so and describe the experience in detail.
Oh.
It tastes like a lot of NutraPaste.
Oh.
It's really not that exciting, and the away team can't help but feel a bit let down. In an attempt to make up for the blandness, Serena Fian falls in. Exciting!
Oh.
The away team makes it past the NutraPaste river, following Nana down a spiral staircase to a squiggly door. This is the invention chamber, Nanonutra says, where we test all of our cutting-edge NutraPaste technology. Wanna see? Of course, follow her in. This is so exciting. There has been rumblings that Nanonutra might be working on something big, but they were based on literally nothing, as no one has been in the factory for ages, trying to compare wild, unfounded speculations with reality. The invention chamber is a whirling cacophony of unusual Nutra devices, maintained by busy Jorga Blorgas. As Nanonutra describes some of her favorite inventions to your team, you consider which to serve closer inspection. Let's see, extreme NutraPaste, Nutra chips, computer not found, NutraPaste, hollow chests. Yeah, there's only one option that will give us the best of choices. Extreme NutraPaste. One of the Jorga Blorgas, working with a giant vat of red NutraPaste, has burst into flames from just touching the stuff. Anything that starts fire is pretty cool in your book, so you tell Pastille to go check it out.
Oh, damn.
Looking good.
No,
Looking
no.
Whoopsie! Pastille knocks the vat over, spilling the scalding NutraPaste all over themselves and everything else. Nanonutra can only gape in horror as all of her inventions, all of her hard work, begin to melt away. That and one of your crewmates along with part of Pastille's health. Nanonutra grabs Pastille by the scruff of the neck, lifting them up. This is why I closed up, she growls. No one is ever worthy. Shoving a gift basket that says, "Thank you for visiting," into their arms, she throws the away team out. Come back disgraced. As Pastille beams back up to the ship, the factory's planet's welcome signs turned off. Perhaps for good this time. But hey, at least now you got a sweet gift basket out of it. It has a limited edition Nanonutra action figure and NutraBytes. So we got 4 the beamed down crew members back and benefit of 30 food. Yeah, only one place to go from here, which is the Class B Dwarf planet. See the machine that goes ping. So you hear a strange ticking coming from the ship. You take it to the nearest repair shop, a really seedy, back to the galaxy kind of place. A big lizard mechanic in overall says it's your warp core, the most expensive part to replace. So you have your engineers fix it, strong-arm the lizard, or get a second opinion. Let's go for our benefit, strong-arm the lizard. Your crew steps forward to teach this reptilian rip-off artist a lesson.
Oh, jeez.
Your crew sustains a few injuries, subduing that shady lizard, but your ship is still making weird noises, and the next mechanic is light years away. Let's just hope you don't end up adrift in space with a broken-down ship. So let's see. Class B or star for more crew, Green Nebula for whatever, or Class B star for whatever. We need more crew. Let's go to the Class B or star. It's like a B star, but even beer. Snack overflow. While checking various ship statuses and systems, the database you are using crashes and displays an error that simply says snack overflow. Weirdly enough, when the database comes back online, you have far more food than you remember. Let's see. Crisis. Karaoke night. Deciding that your crew could use a night of fun, you all go out to the famed Galaxy Club. To your horror, you learn that it's karaoke night. A burly, one-eyed hippoclop from Nurbus 4 challenges you to karaoke sing-off. Your crew eggs you on. So you croon a soapy show tune, rap while dancing, all in baby, or classic heavy metal. It's the only way. Classic heavy metal. It's the only way. You swig a shot of something called Braxian Crude, shake it off, and go for it. You make sure to gyrate, just like the lead singer of an actual spacey DC band would.
Oh my god. Nice.
Success! That one big scream note at the end? You nailed it. But all the windows of the place shatter, and one of your crewmates is killed by the flying glass. Rock and roll, baby! I gained a bravado. And all it cost me was one crewmate.
Oh my god.
And now a Class G star for an opportunity to get more fuel, which, let's be real, I could use some more. The Doomsday Ship. An ancient planet-eating Doomsday Robo-Destroyer has suddenly come to life nearby. According to legend, it's nigh unstoppable. Let's see. We have the firepower. So yeah, let's locate it and engage it in battle. Worst thing that could happen, I lose another crewmate. Your weapon officer grins at your command. Lock all weapons on target and fire at will.
Oh, stop. Oh.
The Robo-Destroyer happily absorbs your weapon's energies. This so unnerves the crew that many of them head back to the escape pods, all one of them. Several of them also pack go-to lunches for their trip. So, worst thing I had was losing a crew member and 3 food. Big deal. Anyway, let's stop by here. Oh, along the way, you encountered a gravestone. Sensors indicate that there is some sort of floating memorial nearby. Your navigator asks if you want to make a short detour to check it out. Of course, let's pay our respects. Will Lanson. Zigged when he should have zagged. Pent-up aggression. The gravestone makes one of your officers incredibly angry. You encourage them to focus that anger constructively, and they do. Jeff now gains 1 attack. See, Penskin Receiving Officers. You discovered a Penskin outpost here in the frontier. The fish people are allied with Galaxy Force, so you're certain that they'd be willing to let you stay here for a while. Let's go in and chat. And let's trade for resources. We have plenty of hulls, so I don't mind ditching 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. And then that, let's get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 crew, and then the rest on fuel. I'll be perfectly fine with that. And let's see, let's chat with some of the soldiers. The soldiers welcome you to their table. After sharing a few war stories, they ask if you're interested in any training. why don't we learn about some of the Peskin customs? Let's see, one of the Peskins says she is willing to give you some data on how to speak Aqueous, the language of the Peskins. She's also up to teaching you some drinking songs. Let's see, what are some of the drinking songs we can learn? Let's see, the Peskin cheers up and says, "Fantastic! Sadly, you will need to convert some of your food or fuel into booze." She looks you square in the eyes, you know, for authenticity or whatever. "Yeah, I don't mind parting with 30 food. Let's do it." Apparently, they know a way of how to convert NutriPaste into something incredibly intoxicating. You supply the paste, they do their booze voodoo, and then the merriment begins as we gain the bravado. The mess hall seems pretty empty now. The requisition office is still open, though. Nah, that's okay. Let's just move on. We got what we need. We should be fine, especially since it's the last leg for this portion. See if we can get more crew. Let's see. Synapsion Brain Beast. You come across a space colony that a titanic Synapsion Brain Beast has made into its nest. The colonists within are mind slaves under the beast's complete control. Besides that, the colony appears bustling and bountiful. Splatter the brain matter, negotiate the colonists' freedom, or board the colony alone. Well, we got the bravado. Let's see if it comes in handy. You smile warmly at the tearful faces of your officers as your personal shuttle leaves the ship. Success! You land in the colony's shuttle bay, noticing a group of shuffling colonists. You corral them into your shuttle and leave quickly. In the excitement, you accidentally slam into your ship's shuttle bay doors. Everyone's okay, though, so we lost one hull, but we're still fine. Got more crew. That's all that matters. So either whatever or more food. We could use some more food, so let's go there. An incredible hull, or the incredible hull. The exterior of her ship has begun a self-reinforcing subroutine, and Perry Queen Lucci, thank you so much for the follow.
Hell yeah.
Let's see. Collecting microscopic particles as you fly through space, Engineer DeLucas has outdone himself. So yeah, like I said, that hole we lost, doesn't matter, we got it back. Crisis. Exterminate? Reports come in all over the ship about warp weasels raiding people's trash cans. You're not sure exactly how this happened, but you need to fix it. Let's see. Exterminate or catch and release. Let's just catch and release. You decide it's much more humane to stun the warp weasels and release them where they won't be a nuisance to anyone anymore. Let's see, should I have killed them, or was the catch and release method the best way? For every one warp weasel that has been seen, there are about 50 more living in the Huvak ducts. Your crew tries to crawl around in the ductwork to catch them all, but the ducts collapse from their waist. Damn. That trick always works in the movies. Lost 4 crew and the hull that just repaired itself. Well, that's a damn shame. You hate to see that happen. Let's go for the Class X Dwarf Star. Surely that's far more entertaining. An imbalanced breakfast. Due to a rounding error, your entire crew received triple portions this morning for breakfast. You are immediately flooded with urgent nap requests. So lost a whole bunch of food. Hopefully we should be fine. Let's see. Perry Queen, rating me with a party of 5. My goodness,
shit.
this is quite something. We're gonna have to stop this for a son. Get the phasers ready! Get the phasers ready!
It's just in. Eizen just hired a random guy to prep his counter raid. Let's go and watch.
But yes, thank you so much for the raid, Perry Queen Lucci. For those of you who are new here, we are playing Orion Trail. It's pretty much the same thing you would expect from the Oregon Trail, but in space. And we're about to see about this huge manatee coming our way. Let's see. An enormous space manatee looms before the ship. Per the secondary directive, you order the ship to engage the majestic creature. For science. Closer. Closer. No, wait, too close. The manatee lunges, swallowing the ship whole. Let's see. Do we shoot our way out, communicate with the creature, or intestinal difficulties? Well, we need more food, so let's shoot our way out. Oh, Lucy, my apologies. My apologies then. I'll remember that for next time. Thank you so much, Lucy, for the follow and raid. But yes, all your Star Captain training tells you that the best thing for you to do in this situation is to send out an away team to shoot open the area. The security team draws straws and reports to the transporter. Woo, and just barely made it. Ah, I'm glad Negatron stopped on by. Always a great guy. So yeah, let me see if I can do this very quickly. While I'm on this, let's see. What were you doing? Oh, Ghost of Tsushima. I have heard nothing but great things about that game. So yes, be sure to check that out. Always nice to see that sort of thing there. Let's see. The ferocious bric-a-brac from earlier ships provides the team with plenty of targets. One round hits a quantum space mine. The resulting explosion causes an enormous belch, freeing the ship. The away team also salvages some supplies with them. Good, so we got some more of that back. And let's see. Class B star with whatever. More hull, or just whatever. Let's just go for the Class B star and work our way from there. Oh no! A snacking disaster! You receive a shipment of Sour Beam and Gunyan flavored Orion Trail Mix. Do you serve it or load it into cannons? Neither option works out well. So we lost 2 crewmate, and sadly I lost some attack from that. Well, that sucks, but let's see. Space Ghost! See, strange things are suddenly happening aboard the ship. Objects are moving by themselves. You hear knocking, church bells, screaming and laughter that doesn't appear to be coming from anywhere. You might be infested with a space ghost. There's no option to kill it, so let's go for the next best thing and call the ghost out. Angrily, you... Yeah, you can obviously tell by the screen what it's supposed to be a parody of. Yeah, from coast to coast. Everyone knows that's the real option there. Angrily, you order the ghost to show itself. You're sick of this and want it to end. Now. Success! Let's see. Hearing rustling, you pull back a curtain where several crew members are operating a machine with many levers. They've been simulating the ghost. Awkwardly, they pull the curtain back, dismantle the machine, and prepare for transfer. Yeah, two of them were obviously an old man, and one of them called Winter. So they've both been shipped out to jail, but we gained a bravado for that. If it weren't for you meddling red shirts. Let's go for the Class B star. See, set a course for savings. Let's see. Sensors show a massive vessel approaching, and all channels are jammed with a catchy tune. It's an Omega Mart superstore. Galaxy Force ships can't repel bargains of this magnitude. Your crew turns to you with big doe eyes. This is going to be costly. So we go for compile a shopping list and buy only what we need. Time for some tech gears. Or only option, grab weapons at great prices. You're it could easily get screwed right up there, but we'll see how it goes. Your shopping entourage makes its way to the Bomb Blasts and Beyond section. You regret having left your 10% off coupons back at the Galaxy Force Command. Just barely failed. Let's see, there's a 3-for-1 deal on gently used phasers. They work great on the testing dummy, but then notice the phasers are only rated for damaged mannequins and nothing else. Worse, you sold your forward shields in order to pay for these. Hole is starting to get cracked, but we'll be fine. We'll be fine. All we have to do is just go 3 spaces forward. Oh, good news. Eureka! Your chief scientist has made a breakthrough involving quantum mechanics. At least, that's the claim. Nobody's allowed to see the results of your experiment since observation will alter the outcome. Jeff just gained 1 science. And we finally made our destination. Mission successful! Congratulations, Eizen Broniac! You have successfully traversed the Wilkie May in a most daring expedition. Galaxy Force honors you with the title Unfortunate Warmonger. I know. Talk about it. So, yes, so many red shirts have died in order for us to be successful. And, yeah, our ship could use some repairs. But otherwise, we made it through just fine. We made it through just fine. So, we got some time to spare. Let's see about checking out our next destination, the Ursa Major, the home sector of the Urzens. It remains mostly uncharted by Galaxy Force. It'll be a tough task to bear. A bear? No, it's a bear. So, yeah, guess what, Opie? Since you're in the call, you're going to be the captain of this ship. Who do you want to be? I yeah, well, I'll take over once you leave. Until then, you're in charge. So, who do you think best describes you?
I'm not even on my front of my screen again. I said I'm just on audio. I'm not even seeing anything.
Well, then, you can be Captain Forever, Mark Kettleton, or Neil Druckmann. Oh, hi, Mark. So we got that. Next up, we have Emily Mind, Cheryl Platts, or Shell Don. Who do you want to be a part of your crew? Alright then. And guess what? I'm going to thank you so much for the raid. You're part of the crew now, Lucy. I hope you enjoy it. And let's see. Jack O'Brien, Ted Barnett, or Tamir Nadav. I'm asking you. Yeah. No, you're still a part of this until you're gone. That's just great. Well, either way, we've already committed to this role. We might as well follow through with it. Who do you think should be a part of this crew then? Well, you can at least choose the next two characters, and then I could take over from there, if that helps. Alright. Tamir, aka, since he's in chat right now, congratulations, Negatron, you've just been drafted in. Absolutely. Alright, we'll bring him in, and let's see, who else do we have in here? You know what, I just realized there's someone who hasn't even been brought into this. One way or another, Pan, I'm dragging you into this. Alright, I'm gonna go by the same tactics as beforehand. Dump 4 in fuel, 4 in food. Because we usually have plenty of hull and crew in the end anyway. Let's see, food, crew, or food. Lots of choices. See if we can get more red shirts into our party. Let's see, more of the brain beast of sorts. And let's see if we can negotiate the colonists' freedom. You command your communications officer to open a channel and hail the behemoth. Communications does not go off well. Let's see, the creature likes what it hears and will send you some crew in exchange for a few stray thoughts. You're unsure of what it means, but you're welcoming a crew member on board. Going forward, your first officers are much less brilliant. Let's see. Oh, I hate to say it, Negatron, but it costs you your one and only defense stat. So let's see, now we can get random thing or more crew. Why not get more crew? Why the hell not? Let's see. Cynic Cognitus, the telepathic terror. Ensign Lenny's eyes roll back and speaks with a stilted cadence. I am Cognitus, master of minds. Best me in mental combat, or surrender your crew. Your view screen flares to life, and a grinning lizard man awaits your next move. I'll stand up. I've got this. How hard can this telepathy thing be anyway? You haven't done it before, but you've heard about it several times. It's like normal thinking, except it's thinking at another person. Success! Your mind maneuvers with the grace of an untrained mouse sipping through the mental battlefield. Cognitus can't make sense of your thought patterns and realize he is probably wasting his time with you. Later, you find mind slave refugees. Huzzah! More crewmates join our team. Let's see, what are these shops selling? Mostly hull and fuel. Is there any way how we can gain... There is a way how we can gain more... that place is going to take longer, so let's just take a beeline to the Orange Nebula. Let's see. A snack and disaster. You receive a shipment of sour beam. Oh, great. So we lost 2 crewmate. And Opie just lost his one and only attack stat. What do you mean? Oh, great. Let's see. Crisis. Uncommon cold. Several officers have returned from a conference on, quote, official officer duties, end quote. And they seem to have brought an unwelcome, virulent guests with them. Soon, everyone is coughing, sneezing, and complaining about chills. Oh, great, it's the space flu. Let's see, do we engage in noodle soup protocol or develop a cure? We're kind of boned anyway, so let's see if we can develop a cure. Sure, Galaxy Force may not have found a cure for the common cold, or the flu for that matter, but you know what? You're, like, way smarter. You put your best minds to work. Yeah, either way, I felt like we were going to fail anyway. After lots of experiments, dead ends, and a few new cases of space flu, your science team is forced to give up as well. Oh, phooey. Lost 2 crew and 100 fuel. Yeesh. Let's just go for that asteroid belt. Hey, the incredible hull. We gained some more hull. Let's see, what else we got here? The Lonely Asteroid. A lonely asteroid tumbles idly through space. Its barren exterior has no distinguishing marks, except for a series of short, regular trenches carved across its surface. We take no chances and charge up the weapons. Check on the asteroid for hostile craft. Or fuck it, exploit the asteroid for raw materials. You definitely nudged the asteroid towards a nearby mining outpost, using blasters set on low. Oh, keep going, keep going. Yeah, we succeeded. Asteroid drifts towards a rock stripper, and just before the smelter melts the asteroid down, a glint of a rare crystalline or catches starlight. Your ship swoops in to rescue the asteroid from the destruction. You rock! Well, since we got more hull, we may as well harvest that in for some more credits. Peskin receiving officers. No one's hurt, so let's chat and trade. Let's chat with the soldiers first, see what they have in store for us. Well, we're not really known for attacking, defending, or for science. Let's see if we can learn some Peskin customs. Maybe learn Aquios. Trade in some food. We could do that. Only, well, 2 for either, really. Let's trade in 30 food for that. After finalizing the details of the trade, she thanks you and begins teaching you how to speak Aquios. So, yay, Opie is now more diplomatic. Let's trade some resources. 1, 2, 3. Gain some more for that. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. There we go. Perfectly set there. Let us venture onward ahead. Let's see. Go to an asteroid belt or a G-star. Pretty much anything can happen. But we can get more crew or fuel depending on where we go from there. Let's head for the asteroid belt. Let's see. Unfamiliar face. Another fine day aboard the Indestructible 2. You nod to your passing crew, recognizing each of them. Well, all except for one. You can't seem to recall his name. In fact, you're pretty sure you've never even seen him before. Seems as if you picked up a stowaway. Either promote the stowaway, detain the stowaway, or observe him. We're gonna promote him. What's the worst that can happen? You admire his gumption, almost as much as you admire your own gumption. In fact, he kind of reminds you of you. The highest form of flattery. You beckon the stowaway over and immediately promote him to your assistant. Damn. Turns out you promoted a well-known thief. Well, partially well known. You didn't know him, so he couldn't be that famous. Anyway, he stole several fuel cells in a shuttle. Well, damn. But yeah, after stealing all that fuel, we definitely need more of that. Let's see, a perfectly paired paradox. A version of yourself in a fancy vest appears on the bridge. Future you claims to know where a hidden cache of fuel is on the ship. On a nearby planet. Suddenly, a second version of yourself, covered in leeches, appears and begs you not to listen to the first you. We're not really well versed in either attacks or defenses, so let's get both sides of the story. You sit both versions of yourself down from across each other for some nice, hot Earl Grey tea.
That reminds me, didn't I spend 10k points on a test drive stream?
Did you? Let me check that. Just give me a quick second, folks. I may as well check this out for a brief moment. See, checking channel points, rewards and stuff. Review quest queue. Complete. Oh yeah, you did say a test drive that a few days ago. Let's see, how much is it in stores right now? Because I know there is a sale going on. Oh, here we go. Let's see. Let's see, and that is with the sale going on. Yeah, I could probably do that. Alright, it's a good thing I got paid, so yes, we'll go ahead and check that out. Anyway, let's continue onward, and then we will try that out later. Let's see. The three of you, reasonably civilized captains, uncover the truth. There is a swamp hidden on the planet, below the atmosphere. By avoiding it, you can safely obtain the hidden treasure cache, but you now have to split it 3 ways. Well, great. Either way, we still got the fuel for it. Now, let's check out this astronomically anomaly. Red eyes. Your transporter engineer calls you over, concerned. The transporter has activated on its own, displaying seamlessly random coordinates. The engineer is convinced that it's a virus, but you know to call a call to adventure when you see one. We'll send a team into the unknown. Well, Negatron, you suffered 1 stat low, so you'll be thankful to know you're not going to be going into this mission. Well, Pan's not here to defend himself, so guess what? He is going on this mission. Pan grits their teeth, ready to face whatever random danger you're sending him into. Are you sure about this, Cap? The transporter engineer says, looking warmly at the display. These readings are really strange. Yes, send them out. Panhandling isn't really going to get off that easily. It's time for adventure, damn it. You nod to the engineer, whose sighs. The transporter fires up, atomizing the away team, and then you lose all contact with them. Panhandling stumbles forward, feeling disoriented. They've been dropped back into the teleporter room. The transporter engineer looks surprised to see them. Oh, I didn't know you were out, she grumbles. What? So we could try to beat them out again, get them food, or just ignore it and forget the mission. You know, I realize this is probably stupid. Let's just forget about the mission. This is clearly not a worthy cause. A transporter didn't take them anywhere. And as for Panhandling, as far as he's concerned, that's probably a better outcome than being sent somewhere randomly. Everyone decides to head back to their quarters. Returning to their quarters, Panhandling opens the door to discover that their bed is already occupied by Panhandling. Distressing. The doppelganger seems to have fallen asleep reading a book. So we search the room, dissect the double for science, or attack the imposter. He's got some tactics in him, so let's search the room. Pan begins to dig through the contents of the room to see if there is any clue as to what exactly is going on. It's their own room, after all, so searching it isn't that sketchy, right? Critical success! A natural critical success, even. Inside the drawer, Pan finds an officer's training manual for something called Force Galactic. Force Galactic? There are nothing like your Galaxy Force. They do have great combat tips, though, so, hey, free combat training. Investigation verifies this isn't really your ship, the Indestructible 2, but rather the Invulnerable 2, a Force Galactic ship from a mirror universe where everyone has red eyes. The away team huddles up and plans out their next move. Let's at least investigate this dimension. Everyone here has red eyes, but as far as Pan knows, there is no probable connection between the red eyes and their evil plans. The team decides to go undercover to learn more about their world. Okay, so apparently it's quite clear that the away team needs to find a way to learn more specific things about this ship and its crew before taking any actions. But how should they go about it? Going undercover and roughing someone up does seem logical. We do have a little more diplomacy, so let's befriend the janitor. Who knows? For all we know, it could be that guy from Galaxy Quest. So let's see. No one ever pays attention to the janitors. They are able to move anywhere in the ship without being detected. Pan is convinced that the best people to get this information from without any risk of attracting attention has to be the janitors. Yet another natural critical success. Turns out the janitor is the head of a secret janitor Illuminati. She knows everything about everyone and agrees to induct Pan and teach them the janitorial secrets. Is there a janitor Illuminati in our dimension? Well, guess what? Now Pan is far more diplomatic than he was beforehand. Everyone on the ship, from the crew to the captain, is a mirror version of those Pan knew on the Indestructible 2. While there is no evidence of any possible evil plans, any opposite of their beloved captain has to be bad news. So yeah, let's stop these doubles. This corrupted captain, this twisted mirror of Pan own beloved leader, must be stopped. The away team prepares for battle. It's time to find out what happens when the invulnerable meets the indestructible. If Pan is going to stop the Mirror Captain, or Nega Captain, or whatever, they're going to need to make their own way into the bridge. There's a lot of ground to cover, so how should they approach it? They can act like they own the place, which is bad. Disable the security systems, which again is bad. Or guess what, Pan you're going guns a-blazing. I don't care if you signed up for this or not, you got dragged into this. The away team may be battered and bruised, but for those who remain, do so because they are survivors. Fully armed, Pan is sure that they can take on anything between here and their captain's chair with, for the third time in a row, a natural critical success. Just as the combat breaks out, the Invulnerable 2 goes into warp, causing time dilation. Like a scene from a 2380s action film, explosions go off in slow motion as the away team weaves and dodges through shots. Everyone feels badass, and guess what, Pan? You gained another bravado. Until finally, the away team's efforts have been rewarded. They now stand at the entrance of the bridge, den of the Bizarro Captain. Pan hesitates for a moment. This will surely be dangerous. Are they really prepared? Yeah, let's do it. Pan has made it this far. There's no turning back now. Time to see what twisted version of their heroic, handsome, and totally capable captain lurks behind this door. There they are, sitting smugly in the invulnerable Two's captain's chair. The nega captain, Pan Anning, is incensed. How dare they wear that beautiful face? Time to end whatever evil scheme this mirror universe has. Let's see, grab a hostage, kill them dead. It's time to inspire mutiny, since, of course, we have more diplomacy. If the Space Academy's speech class is ever going to be of any use to us, it'll be now. Addressing the Mirror Universe's crew, Pan Anning pulls out all the big words, such as justice, freedom, revolution, and or destiny. Four fucking times in a row! Natural critical success! What the fuck? Okay, someone needs to highlight this. What the bloody fuck? What the bloody fuck is this? This is beyond amazing at this point. Natural crits, even. Whew. Okay. It's a second space French Revolution. The Force Galactic crew builds a barricade out of the various hardware on the bridge, firing at their ex-officers from behind. Unfortunately, without this hardware, the ship can't maintain itself. The ship is coming apart, and time is running out. Should Pan Anning give the Invulnerable Two's crew a second chance as a part of Galaxy Force? Or should I take the Force Galactic's resources? You know, to use for its own good. So, let's see. We'll basically get our crew back regardless. I think the main thing we're really suffering from is food. And honestly, we would never sacrifice ourselves for the greater good unless our stats were piss poor and mainly had 1 HP left. So, we'll just take their stuff. Let's see. Some Force Galactic crew managed to stow away as you transport their resources away. But most of them are stuck behind, screaming, as the Invulnerable 2 breaks apart. Oh well, they were evil, right? Right? Including the 8 that come back to our ship, we gained 6 additional crew, 30 food, and 100 fuel. So yeah, now we're looking really good for ourselves. Let's see. Whatever at Class G, whatever at Class U, or whatever at the Asteroid Belt. What are the other areas? More fuel, food, or food? Also, what do you have for more fuel? Interesting. We should probably get more fuel since buying fuel is going to be expensive there, so we'll go the path of fuel. See, crisis, neon shirts. One morning, the iconic red uniforms of the low-ranking crew are suddenly neon-colored. What's going on? Something's got to be done. The whole neon thing is ugly and hard on the eyes. And besides, neon shirts doesn't roll off the tongue nearly as well as red shirts. Had the shirts analyzed or the crew analyzed? Well, we did get more crew, so let's have the new crew analyzed. Everyone wearing a now neon shirt is asked to report to the science lab for tests to get to the bottom of this shirt-changing business. Yeah, there's no way it's going to be... Okay, thank you! That's the only... After getting 4 natural critical successes, it could only have ended with a critical fail to get us back to normality. Let's see. Invasive space bacteria made by the shirts meld with the crew's skin, changing the color of both. Any attempts to put on more clothes results in more absorption. This baffles the science team, who sends the crew members to Galaxy Force Disease Control. Mainly, we lost 8 crew because anyone who lost science didn't have science to lose anyway, so it's not like we can get negative stats. So yeah, since we gained more crew, it wasn't necessarily that heavy of a loss. Let's see what we got here. Fuel for thought. Your science chief has had a breakthrough. A cap that can turn the wearer's mental energy into starship fuel. This demonstration worked, but now no one knows how to use it. Which, again, we gained fuel, and that's really it, since, once again, no one has any science to lose. Let's see. A planet of the primates. Discovered that your planet populated by humanoid creatures with freakishly ape-like heads. Since they appear to be intelligent creatures, you open negotiations to barter with them. They send a delegation to your ship. Well, unfortunately, bravado's our main stat that we can't use, so let's see if we can present bananas to the leader instead. You welcome the council of the 12 monkeys to your ship, and bestow a lavish gift of bananas to their leader. Oh. Despite the reroll, it's still a success. Awkward. The monkeys are embarrassed because they were going to give you a lavish gift of bananas. After an uncomfortable laugh, they host a cocktail party with tons of banana daiquiris for everyone. You then use the leftover daiquiri as fuel. So yeah, we gain more fuel for that. Huzzah. Oh, before we can go onward, encounter the gravestone. Yeah, let's check it out. Luigi Copper. Played nice with the other kids. Loose bricks sinks ships. Did Opie... The only person who had any defensive stats was Pan, so this essentially means nothing happens. You tripped over a loose stone and hit your head wicked hard. After some time in the medbay, you recover, but you seem to have forgotten several key maneuvers. Not that Opie had any to begin with. In more ways than one, I suppose. Let's see. Galaxy Force Supply Ship. When you enter the star system, you are hailed by a Galaxy Force long-distance supply ship. The pilot lets you know she's been given authority to trade with you, should you choose. She also mentions that her trek has been incredibly boring. Well, first off, let us see if there are any skills we can learn before we do some trading. The pilot brushes her hair back to the side and grins at you. Yeah, alright, what you looking for? We could use some upgrades. Think about some peaceful pursuits. The pilot laughs. Sure, we can do that for you. I need specifics, though. Update language database? What can we trade in? 2 hull plates or 4 crew? Let's trade in the crew. Because again, if we lose crew, it's going to be painful, but if we lose all our hull, the game just ends, so yeah, we can live with that. The pilot entered this detail of the work order into her datapad, and then has you confirm it by pressing your thumb onto the screen. So lost 4 crew, but we gained some diplomacy. So now diplomacy is just as good as bravado, but now let us trade in some extra fuel that we have to, number 1, regain the lost crew, and number 2, gain some more food. And I think after all that, so let's see. Yeah, that should be good enough. We should be all set for now. Let's move on. Let's just see. How far away are we? Oh, not that far. So let's see. What do we have here? Something to give us more food, or something that gives us more food. Plus, we gotta love, it's either Class M or Class M. I'm gonna go for the hidden option and go for Class M. Let's see. Freeze-dried beefalo. Before you is an entire float herd of freeze-dried beefalo. tumbling idly through space. The little guys must have fallen off a Takoshan cattle ship. You find at least 2,000 pounds of meat, but you're only able to carry 30 pounds of it back to your ship. Insert laugh track here. And it's this scenario once again. Loading in. So once again, 3 stats, 2 stats, or most of the stats. Ban, you're going back in! Let's see. Let's check around first, see if there's anything worth doing here. Oh, you got the stats for it. Let's throw a picnic. On the Indestructible 2, there's a crisis every 2 minutes. It's been a while since the team has had a chance to chill for a bit. You order the away team to host a team picnic at the lake, so that they can enjoy themselves and bond as a group. I believe a certain Bobcat would say, what could possibly go wrong? Let's see, the picnic goes decently. Only once they get to know each other better, it turns out that Pananning and Kapalka really hate each other. After a lakeside kung fu battle, only the officer remains. So guess what? You gained 1 attack, and only one of your crewmates died. But again, he was kind of a jerk, and you really hated him. Your away team returns from the lake feeling slightly refreshed. That Nanonutra factory is sure imposing, though. Yeah, let's ring the doorbell. Take a deep breath, you ring the doorbell, and opens up. Once again, you got the stats for it. Let's commence the polite introductions. Let's see what happens this time around. It's not a critical fail. We'll take it. 2 hit for that, so 2 of them literally go cold-blooded and die. Oh, goody, let's go in. We'll check it out. Let's see, inquire about the chemical process, investigate the Jorga Blorga, investigate the workspace. Now let's check out the Jorga Blorga rights. Casually dropping the name of the race that apparently only exists inside this factory and only seems to work on Nutrapaste definitely raises all sorts of red flags, so you order Pananning to check them out as they're on their lunch break. At least. Yeah, this time it can't go as bad. And it's a critical success. Not a natural one, but it's a critical nevertheless. They get lunch breaks. Satisfied, Pananning asks Nanonutra to continue their tour across the room and out of sight. A Jorga Blorga collapses from exhaustion. And now it's a secret factory. Let's see what we got here for choices. NutraChips, NutraPaste, Speech Salve, or Extreme NutraPaste. The NutraPaste Speech Salve. Nanonutra swears that this paste, when eaten, will soothe the throat and the speech centers of the brain, increasing eloquence and language learning. You tell Pananning to scarf down as much of this as they can. They'll need it. Oh, it's a fail. Almost instantly, Pananning picks up their first new language, the language of NutraPaste. The NutraPaste whispers to them, filling their minds with all sorts of secrets. Terrible secrets. Several crew flee from the ravings. Let's see. Nutra leads the team through twisted corridors and strange glass elevators before stopping at a large padlocked door. Behind here, she says, suddenly serious, is the secret to the NutraPaste. I let you in, and your lives will change forever. Change your lives forever! This is it. You order Pananning to follow Nana through the ominous door. You're going to see your childhood fantasy through it to its completion. Even if only vicariously, Nana pauses, nods, and then pushes the door open. The away team is stunned. Suspended above the NutriPaste is a tiny chocolate bar. Every hour or so, a piece of it falls into the vat below. This is the secret that makes the NutriBand stand out. It's 0.0004 chocolate. This is either suspicious, he's onto something, or useful intel, so let's blackmail her, or it's genius, so let's tell her so. Flavoring something that is, by definition, flavorless? Such mad maneuvers deserve nothing but the highest of respect. Once again, you task Pan Anning with telling Nana Nutra how great she is. Critical fail. Let's see. Nana Nutra's face contorts. Genius? She says, grabbing Pan Anning and shaking him. I preferred the very definition of NutriPaste, and you call it genius? No! This is evil! Evil! Wow, there is a lot of pent-up guilt here. Nana Nutra then grabs Pan Anning by the scuff of the neck, lifting them up. This is why, closed up, she scowls. No one is ever worthy. Shoving a gift basket, they say, thank you for visiting, into their arms. Then she throws the away team out. So once again, we come back with the 3 crewmates who are still alive, but at least we got 30 food from it. So again, what was the worst that could happen there, Pan? I ask you, what was the worst that could have happened? So yeah, only one place to go, and that is for more food. Let's see, Warp Weasel warning. Let's see, your ship is infested with warp weasels. The departments are all over arguing who should take care of that problem. Once everyone has their say, you consider your options. Either blast them, deploy the droids for loss of life avoidance, or convince the tech team to handle it, which is what we'll do. In a tense meeting with the ship biotechnicians, you explain that they need to solve this, since it's totally their fault. Oh, and a reroll makes it a success! The bio team wants to make it up to you. They release a rare fungus into the ship's ventilation system, knocking out all the weasels, as well as your elderly crew members. You hold a roast weasel fest in their honor. So lost 2 crew, but we gained some more food for that. Let's see. Class X star for whatever, or Class M for hull. We're almost there. Let's see if we can make a beeline for the end. Let's see. Shady Dealer. Your communications officer says that you are being hailed by an unknown vessel floating deep in space. A shady figure appears on the holoscreen, offering repairs in exchange for some fuel. Well, the thing is, let's just say we have no fuel. You confess with possible feigned sincerity that you wish you could help him, but unfortunately you have no fuel to spare. Considering we're low on fuel, that's technically not false. Success! Disappointed, yet still understanding, the dealer says that you're both lucky to have run out of fuel this close to a station. You agree to tow his ship behind you if he repairs your ship. You each hold up your side of the bargain. So we gain some hull for that, which is nice. See some more fuel. Or more fuel. Pfft. Either way. Pink or orange? Let's go the way of pink. Clearly nothing can be bad with pink. Let's see. Crisis, the game. There's a new game fad involving a visor everyone seems to be playing and inviting others to play. You could swear you saw something similar on a TV show once, but you can't quite put your finger on it. Yet something about this situation seems off. We'll either ban the game worldwide or, at the very least, read the game reviews on GalaxyNet. We're running low on crews, so I'll read the gamer's review on the GalaxyNet. You decide to learn more about this fad, considering that it's been sweeping your ship. You and 2 of your bridge officers, sequesters, request yourselves in the ready room, scanning the galaxy net for answers. Oh, it's a bad one. Oh, did I say, well, my bad, I meant to say ship-wide. The good news is the game is indeed legit. The bad news is you can't get one. It's sold out and on back order everywhere. You send a couple of crew members to a store some light years away to pick up a copy for you. You never see them again. And unfortunately for Pan, or Opie in this case, he lost some bravado and, of course, the true crew members that didn't come back. Not that it matters, we are that close to the end. Surely we can make it. Let's see. Drafting the Drifters. There you go. That's how it works. You spot some intrepid hobo-nauts spacewalking alongside the trail. You offer them a ride if they are willing to do a little physical labor in the physics lab. So overall, we just gained 2 after that experience. Ooh, Quell the Quasardvark. A pop-up ad fills your data pad. Free ship repair, upgrades, and more offered to anyone who puts an end to the terror at Loomis 4, the sun-swallowing Quasardvark. You don your Galaxy Force regulation sunglasses and issue the following orders. We could overfeed it, but it's not as good as our diplomacy, and blowing it up from the inside is a bit risky. Let's give it something else to eat instead. You elect to end this creature's solar diet by giving it a healthy alternative. You soon find the creature and enter into an orbit around it. You detach Nutripace Tank 2C and hail the creature with encouraging baby talk. Success! The megalith mammal slurps up the tank. Its 6 eyes widen. All it can think about is sweet, sweet Nutripaste. Now it hunts ships in orbital-themed restaurants in the Lumos sectors instead of suns. You still manage to secure your reward. How's it going, Jeff? And let's go visit the Class M star next. Let's see. Weld done. Floating in space is a globule of what appears to be metallic Nutripaste. Despite the heavy metals present within the gloop, your chief scientists assure you that it is still quite edible. Well, in that case, we have plenty of hull, so I suppose if it's edible... Look, if your chief scientist says it's okay, you're willing to give it a try. When you serve it to the crew, it tastes terrible. But there is no observed side effects, plus it turns out to be a great source of iron. But, psh. Let's see, the vortex. A space vortex opens up in front of you. Your ship's sensors detect an unknown object is emerging from it, headed right your way. Assume a defensive posture. Nah. Battle stations, unknown, incoming. Immediately fly into the vortex. You launch a team of volunteers into the vortex in order to see what happens inside. Critical fail. The team meets an evil mirror universe versions of your ship and crew. At first it appears a battle will ensue, but it turns out much of your crew is innately evil. They join their evil selves in a life of pillaging the mirror universe. So we lost 8 crew, and let's see. Yep, Opie lost his 1 diplomacy and his only bravado. But at least the good news is, we just need to make a few more steps and mission cleared. Congratulations, Opie! You have successfully traversed Ursa Major in a most daring expedition. Galaxy Force honors you with the following title, Admirable Diplomat. Still can't get over Pan Anning went through an expedition mission where 4 times in a row he not only got critical successes, but they were natural critical successes. What the fuck? No. Let me see. Jeff, if you're feeling up to this, I can squeeze out one more. Well, the thing is, after all the creepypasta readings, my throat is starting to feel it. So if you weren't feeling up to doing this, I may as well just end the stream right now. Indeed. If not for the trailing, the creepypastas definitely did a blow to my voice, so I could use this time away. But yes, I'd like to thank you all for watching. Thanks to, even if for brief moments, Opie, Jeff, and Pastillo for the co-commentary. Most importantly, the Perry Queen Lucy for both the follow and the 5-viewer raid. Thank you all so very much. Also, I did not check out the video yet, Sineb, though once the stream ends, I will be sure to check it out. But yes, with that said, let's see if there is someone else who I can redirect you all to. Let's see, there are numerous people online right now. I'm going to give a few shoutouts. Let's say we'll give a shout out to Ty Tuesday, who is currently going through Monster Rancher 2. I remember trying that game out myself, at least the first Monster Rancher. Absolutely love it. So I can assure you the second one is just as good, if not better. And I'll also give shout outs to, let's see, I figured I already use it. Gotta make sure I spell out the name correctly. Torbid Typist, who is playing Silent Hill 3. I remember playing the original Silent Hill this Halloween season. Absolutely loved it. So I'd imagine Silent Hill 3 is just as good, if not even scarier than the first one. So gotta love that. And did not even know it was a direct sequel. I would have thought it was 2, or maybe 2 was just a retelling. And make sure I'm spelling this name correctly. Yes, and I'll also give a shout out to, if memory serves, Jack, otherwise known as Toxic X Eternity. Oh, you know what? It would help if I spelled it correctly. Let me try it again. Let's try that again. There we go. Who is currently shredding out some tunes. With that said, let's go ahead and, since Juker is kind of new to this thing, let's go ahead and raid Oozeworm, who is currently teaching Juker the ways of Minecraft. And with that, let's say... Gengar's Clefable Shadow, oh no! And if anyone is sub to Oozeworm, feel free to replace the oh no with the E mode Oozeworm oh no instead. Feel free to do that. Yeah, the next best thing I've been doing is I'm part of his Patreon, so unfortunately that too locks me out of that. But yes, feel free to do that, and I will be streaming something tomorrow. It's going to be up in the air, but that's pretty much how it's going to go. So, until then, folks, thank you all for watching. If you wanted to see me go through Mega Man X7 most likely drunk. I'm only 8 follows away from doing that, so anyone who's new to the stream and hasn't followed yet, feel free to do so. It's free, and it helps out the channel. So until then, folks, take care, and we shall see you all later, everyone. There's really nothing else to say. I'll see you all.